Now, I would start here immediately normally, but since that alert kicked off while I was on intermission screen and we didn't get to see it, I'm going to do a fake one, just for the heck of it. There we go. Perfect. Gonna enjoy that music for a little bit here. It'll pretty much be impossible to convince me that the Starman music from Super Circuit isn't actually, like, genuinely really good. Of course, I like a lot of things about Super Circuit, and one day I might do it on here. Though, I need to figure out a way to find how to make the controls as tight as they are on, oddly enough, a D-pad for a GBA. Because I could do it on a GameCube controller. That doesn't seem like a good idea, though. Just call it a hunch. So, time to crack open a cold one with the boys. Thank Ludicolo for subscribing for 2 months. Finally got through second speech for the semester. Nice. I remember having to do that. That was a required course for mine. It was not speech and debate, but you had to take like a communications course at some point. So I do remember doing that. But yes, we are back with a brand new track. Also known as a squeaky chair. You might be wondering why the heck I'm here. Well, for starters, a couple things here. I'm actually going to pull up a list. I did take notes this time because quite a little bit has changed here, as you can probably tell. So, first things first. Let's go over what moves have changed. Starting with Espeon, 2 different things that popped up for it while I was leveling up. The first is Psychic. This came up at level 47, and I replaced Psybeam with it, so it is a more powerful Psychic move now. It also had the ability at level 52 to learn Morning Sun, which is is a healing move that varies depending on the weather. It is half of your health when it is sunny. It is a quarter of your health if there is no weather going on, and any other weather type other than, I can't remember which one it is. I think it's rain. And if it's rain, it's an eighth of your health. I'm not a big fan of those types of moves. I personally think they're kind of a waste of time, so I did not learn that one, but I did learn Psychic. I need this to scroll down, please. Thank you. Second is, I didn't have to go that far on that list, is Quillfish, who learned Hydro Pump. This was at level 46, and I replaced Pin Missile for it. So we now have a more powerful water attack that sacrifices a bit of accuracy, but I feel like that was worth it because I wasn't using Pin Missile, and it's not too terribly strong of a move, and I'm not big on most bug-type moves anyway, so did not bother with that one. Umbreon learned Screech, which is a sharply lowering defense status move, and I replaced Feint Attack with that, so I'm keeping Bite. And let's see, I don't think I used that one. I think that's the only one. No, Umbreon did try to learn a move at level 52 as well, which is Moonlight. It is basically Umbreon's version of what I just outlined for Espeon. Yes, it is the half health regenerating at, with the high sun status effect. That's just due to, like, a translation thing in Japanese. It makes more sense. It's less about Moonlight and more like, kind of like with Morning Sun, it's closer to Rising Sun, so it makes a little bit more sense in that context. Let's see. Fortress had the ability to learn Spikes at level 49. I am fully aware Spikes can be a phenomenal move if used correctly in competitive play. This is obviously not a competitive run-through, therefore I did not find it as important as what it already had. And I kind of like having the whole Attract and Toxic combo to just really mess with the team. Hyper Beam is a good attack move, and I didn't want to sacrifice the only actual offense move it had, and Protect obviously has its uses as well when combined with Earthquake on other team members, so that's why I didn't change that. And lastly, Quagsire had the option to learn Rain Dance at level 49. I passed up on this, but I do have a TM for this now. I did strongly consider switching out Mudshot for this, because I think I think Rain Dance could be useful in the right situation. I just didn't want to use it right now. So that's why I passed on that, and the reason I did not go with it. Secondly, as soon as I switch back to check... Okay, cool. We are still fine on that front. The second thing, I did do some of the Colosseums off screen as promised. As you can see, I've got more TMs than I did before. So the ones that I did were Pyrite Coliseum, and for that, again, this is sounding more like a guide, but just so we're clear on what I did and what I got out of it. After beating Pyrite Coliseum the first time, you get TM01, which is Focus Punch. Beating it the second time, you get TM07 Hail. The third time, you get TM05 Roar. And the last time, you get probably the best of the four, except for maybe Rain Dance, TM31 Brick Break. The trainers are always the same. They always have the same Pokemon with the same moves. After you beat this for the fourth time, you will still get the prize money, but not the TM, but they will start repeating in that exact same loop. So if you want to look up the list of the trainers and be prepared for it, you can do that. Then I also did Pyrite Coliseum, which... in the first round after I beat them, which was around level 40s, the Pyrite Coliseums were around level 50s. I got TM18 Rain Dance. This is, again, why I didn't feel too bad about passing up on Rain Dance, because I knew I was going to get it, or already had it at that point, because I think I did Phynac first. Second time, you'll get TM11 Sunny Day. The third time, you'll get TM19 Giga Drain. And the fourth time, you'll get TM22, which is Solar Beam. So a couple nice grass moves there, and a couple weather effects as well. That's all we're going to do for the time being. So, as for the reason, why the heck would you be down here? Because this was actually something that I learned from watching Chugga's Let's Play of Pokemon Colosseum that I actually did not remember at all the first time I watched it through, and have never actually done this myself, but yes, we went back through the building that they were distributing Shadow Pokemon, and you have to refight all the trainers there. You have to refight all the trainers in this area that you go to fight Mirror B. And so I just saved at the closest point, because as it turns out, if you decide to go all the way back to where Mirror B is, there's something special that you can see. You can only do this before ending the main story mode. After you do the main story mode, this will not be here anymore. There's no prize for doing this. It's just some really weird, vague thing that's just thrown out in the middle of nowhere, and I wanted to show it off, because I'm willing to bet if you haven't watched Chugga's LP, you may not have seen this dude before. I'm Miracle B. I'm Mirror B's rightful successor. Gonna get me an afro. By the way, no, that's not your speakers or headset or whatever freaking out. That's what the music's supposed to sound like. It's a knockoff version of Mirror B, Miracle B. He does not have any Shadow Pokemon. Again, there is no prize for beating this guy. He's just here, which I think is hilarious. Do our old Earthquake Protect combo. So I did want to show this off, but again, no rewards for it. I am at this point obviously very overleveled compared to his team that's just under level 40, and mine are all, you know, like low to mid 50s. So yeah, did want to show this. Just for the heck of it. Also, get out of here, Electrode. Nobody asked you to come hang out with us. I did do more of Mount Battle, but we'll probably show that off at a later point. I think I got up through floor 80? I'm not sure offhand. I've actually not touched this in a little bit, only because I got everything done surprisingly quickly that I needed to kind of be prepared for this episode. And so as a result, I was working on a lot of other stuff, mostly just life stuff. For example, you know, filing taxes, which is always fun. Also, if you've not done that, make sure you get it done if you need to. Not fun, but it had to be done, and if it goes through, I'll make a couple grand back, so that's always nice. I was about to say, Sand Slash might survive this. It's pretty decent in defense. One day I'll have to do so. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, thankfully. I'm actually just gonna do Attract. I'm pretty sure the battle's gonna end this round, but just for the heck of it. Like, I started a new job last year in 2020. That was when I'd started working overnights. It was about, like, April or May or something like that, but in my case, since it's a pretty easy way, like, you just get a thing called a W-2, for those of you that don't know, and it basically just gives you all your information there, and you just take it and, like, plug it into TurboTax, which, unless you're doing, like, a really complicated thing or you've been audited or something, you can just use the free version of it, and it will let you use it each year. It will remember all your stuff, so you usually won't have to change anything unless you've, like, moved or gotten married or something like that. So it's not too terribly bad, unless you just got, like, a really complicated version of it. Or maybe it's, like, complicated in your state, but it wasn't complicated here. It took, like, all of 10 minutes to do. And that was with putting in all that new information, so it really wasn't that bad. But just a bunch of junk like that. Also, yes, he does have a Sudowoodo here, and no, it will not be a Shadow Sudowoodo even if you did not catch it. He will not have any Shadow Pokemon even if you did not catch any. Just so we're clear on that front. I've ruined his dreams of getting... I mean, you could still get an Afro. You don't have to be Mirror B to have an Afro. If I leave and come back, will he still be her or will he disappear? I wonder. Let's find out real quick. Because since Plusle's here, there's no way to get out of this other than just return back. Yeah, he's still here. Okay. Do I have to fight him again if he, Nope. Just the one. So, yeah, like, a really weird, like, just off-the-wall thing to just have in here. I assume at some point he was probably supposed to have a Shadow Pokemon, maybe? I can't say that for sure. I mean, because there's a bunch of unused data on other Shadow Pokemon that were supposed to be put in the game that weren't, Minun, for example, which would make sense since you're given a Plusle, and, like, Plusle's kind of bad unless you're, benefiting from having Minun on the field. Which would also doubly make sense because since every single battle in this game is a double battle, it, like, there's a potential for Plusle to do better than it normally would. And because there's no Minun to be obtained, unless you, like, traded one in, I guess, from a, like, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, then you just wouldn't get it. So yeah, very weird to have him in there. Just a cool little Easter egg, though. There is one other person that we're going to fight, and I expect, like Miracle B, they're probably not going to be able to put up much of a fight. And that's probably because we should have fought them way, way, way before now. But I did not think about it, and it's also not exactly high on my priority list, or wasn't at the time. But we'll go ahead and do it now, since we're going to be out on the overworld. I will say, though, with refighting all of those trainers that I had to refight, if there is any Shadow Pokemon that they had that you did not previously get, which there's only 2 in that area, one of them's like the cowboy that's in not the building, I don't know what you want to call that area, the cave system, and there's one other one that has a Shadow Pokemon, you do have the opportunity to get them that second try. So that is a possibility if you didn't get them all. But again, I'm trying to do my best to make sure that I get all of them. Speaking of which, I probably do need to pick up more Pokeballs, but I'll do that in a little bit. The good news, again, with doing all the Colosseums, is I have a lot of money, as you can tell. 39,715, so plenty of money on that front. And I bought a fair few things with the money I had, namely cents, to lower heart gauges a little bit. Because as it turns out, and we'll go ahead and drop by and pick up the berry while we're here, I actually had completely forgotten about it. Did know about it, but just completely forgot about it. The nature of a Pokemon actually determines how effective or not effective specific ways of lowering the heart gauge are. Now, granted, you can't know the nature of a Pokemon until you get its heart gauge about halfway down, which is a bit of a bummer. But yes, depending on nature, certain things will work better than others. So, in a couple of cases, I believe it was actually with the legendary Pokemon, using the Sense was actually the easiest way to bring the heart gauge down, and using it in battle or calling its name when it was in Hyper Mode was the worst way to do it, and so I just used a fair few amount of Sense in order to do that. I also did not mention that in the playthrough, so I should go ahead and mention that. If you do have a cologne case, which can be given to you by this girl right here, you can... Bye, Rui. You can pick up Sense with at the center here, at the shop here, and he will give you a Joy Scent, an Excite Scent, and a Vivid Scent, and those will increase the heart, or decrease the heart gauge by various levels. If you don't have that cologne case, then you cannot pick them up, but they are available here. So slightly pleases, pleases, and greatly pleases. So I did know natures were important for, like, what stats are, you know, increased or decreased potentially, but I did not know that they were actually important for lowering the heart gauge. So yeah, that was a new experience. Since we're already here, I'm going to go ahead and purify the Pokemon that I lower the heart gauge for. I believe we've got 7 in total. We'll find out in a second here. But yes, all of these have been prepared. I'm very sure Raikou was primarily with the Sense. I think it was Sunflora for the other one, but don't quote me on that. I didn't want to go to summary. I thought I told it to go to box 2. Does it just, like, reset it back to box 1 every time? That seems a bit weird, but, I mean, I guess there's only 3 boxes, but the point still stands. Why would you not just leave it where it was? Oh, well. I am gonna take the items, like the Silver Powder, the Dragon Fang, anything that's equipped to any of these Shadow Pokemon, I am going to take off of them. Potentially use them, potentially not. It kind of depends on what those objects are. So, yeah, never melt ice, which is good for ice moves. You're probably not running a Delibird on your team. Can't imagine why, he says sarcastically. So yeah, hopefully everybody's been doing well since last we spoke. Since last we spoke, we had a ginormous freaking ice storm that was going through the United States. Up to and including in Texas. I believe that was just before that happened. And yeah, it wasn't pretty. It didn't knock out power for me at any point. And thankfully, we are just outside of the area where they had to do the rolling blackouts. But yeah, not good. Also, we won't get into the politics, but to make a long story short, if you're supposed to be looking out for people and you're taking a vacation, and then you blame that on your daughters and making sure they want to stay safe, consider not doing that. Just don't do it. Not a good idea. Anyway, moving swiftly on. No, I would not like to give a name to Sunflora. Good old Vibrava. I'll probably end up using that on my alternate team. I don't mean to talk about it too terribly much, but I'm mostly doing it, A, for fun, really, and B, also just to show, like, if I end up getting it, you know, totally completed, just to show off what I normally run on my team. And I'm kind of, like, I'm really kind of split on what I typically use for my last Pokemon here. Options are obviously very limited, and so I've not run everything. There's some that I would just say inherently don't run. Speaking of which, here's Delibird. But you've got like a fair few options here. And, like, in theory, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm always going to pick up Quillava, I would absolutely... Well, not absolutely. There's a good chance, I guess, is probably what I'd say, that I would also run Croconaw if it wasn't for the fact that Croconaw, as a result, will not show up until after the main game is done. So... Also in Spark. I'm pretty sure you've got some crappy move in here, Mr. Chipmunk Cheeks. Rain Dance, Leer, Quick Attack, Thunder. You probably don't need Quick Attack. Well, you know what? I'd say get rid of Leer. Like, we're not ever going to use this guy, but hypothetically, you'd probably get rid of Leer because you're probably going to use the Rain Dance Thunder combo, and thus you're not attacking physically, and therefore there's no point for Leer. You could argue there's no point for Quick Attack, but at least with Quick Attack, like, if you just need to, like, do just a little tiny amount of damage to kill something and you want to make sure you go first, you could use it. It doesn't matter, though. This thing's not getting used, obviously. Those are some heavy footsteps. Good lord, are you trying to kill a roach or something? But yeah, never been a big fan of using legendaries, and also not a big fan of the legendary dogs. I can only think of, off the top of my head, one set of legendary Pokemon that I like less than the legendary dogs. That set being Uxie, Aslef, and Mesprit. Not a fan. But, and that's in terms of, like, both looks and, well, not so much stats, because, again, I don't use them, but just in terms of looks, not a big fan. I know for a fact they had not announced that one last we were doing this. They had not announced the remakes for Sinnoh, speaking of those three legendaries. I don't know, I actually kind of look forward to it. I think that there's actually pretty good potential for the game to be a lot better than people think it's going to be. Oh, right, I was going to take those items off. I better go ahead and do that now before I forget. I think it has the potential to be better than a lot of people think it will. I will admit, like, it does look like there could be problems, but, like, I would rather core mechanics get fixed than, like, complain about the graphics, for example. Like, I want the movement speed to be increased. As somebody who just got done replaying Platinum, that was a major problem, is just everything was slow. Like, I want mechanics like that to be fixed. Yeah, it is just gonna mess with it. Just send it all the way back here. Like, really, if mechanics in a game are very good, I can overlook almost any other flaw. Because, like, whenever you're thinking about what you like in a game, like, you have to prioritize some things over others. Whether you care about the story more, whether you care about the graphics more, whatever. And I personally care about game mechanics that, in my defense, is opinion, I think need to be fixed, but I've never heard anybody say, oh yeah, no, like, the movement speed for Sinnoh is the exact speed that I want everything to go at. I've never heard anybody say that. And that's not even, it's not a case of a divisive one of like, oh, I don't think, like, the Poffins worked really well and some people do like them or anything like that. That's just like a mechanic of just, I want my characters to move a little bit faster. It's a problem. It is. I want Manaphy and Munchlax to be easier to be obtained. That's a problem. Like, just things like that. And I feel like in that case, they're probably fine. You just put it on, you put Manaphy, you put Munchlax, you put all, like, the nearly impossible ones to get on Mystery Gift, or switch up how they're found, and boom, you're good. So I think it'll be better than people expect. Much like with Zelda games, because, again, like with Skyward Sword, which was reminding me of it, games go in a cycle, especially Zelda games and also Pokemon games, of whenever they get announced, people are like, oh, this is going to be trash, everybody's going to hate it. And then they play it, and then they come around to it, and then they like it, and then they hate it again. It goes in a cycle. It's just like that. So, in all honesty, I don't think it's going to be as bad as everybody thinks it's going to be, but... So, now with that, we've officially filled up Box 3 in its entirety, which is kind of cool. Look at all those bright, beautiful colors. I will say, for as much as the types and whatnot are limited, very good color distribution here. We got some blues, some reds, some greens, some yellows, some purples, some browns. Like, we got a nice variety of color here. It's very nice. Very aesthetically pleasing. I can't deposit that because it's the last Pokemon I've got. I'm going to go ahead and leave Wild in here for the time being, just because he is higher level than everybody else. The only reason that he's at 55, while everybody else is like at 50 to 52, the only reason that happened was because of Mount Battle. There just happened to be a lot of battles in a row that fire was extremely useful, and so it was just his time to shine, really. Yep, good old Manaphy, in which, for those of you that don't know, there was only 2 ways to obtain it. One was through a Nintendo event that no longer exists because Nintendo Wi-Fi for the DS no longer exists, so that option is out. The second option is, I don't remember the details, but it is basically by having the first Pokemon Ranger, and Manaphy is distributed not per save file, but by per cartridge. So if it has already been redeemed on the cartridge, you cannot get it again. Yeah. So I guess if you ever have a copy of Pokemon Ranger hanging around, you can find the actual like code online that you have to import. That part's no problem. But yeah, check in and see if you got it, I guess. Oh right, I said I was gonna buy Pokeballs as well, and we had another battle that we were gonna do. We'll go ahead and do the battle first. Also, fun fact, there is a character in Diamond Pearl Platinum that will ask to see a different Pokemon each day, and as long as it is registered in your Pokedex, which you can do by examining a book in Diamond Pearl Platinum to get Manaphy, yes, he can potentially ask you to get a Manaphy for him. Just issues like that do need to be fixed. I'm sorry, but they do. That's an issue. Alright, so yes, if you have a 6th Pokemon in your party, you can totally fight Justy at this point. I think his team is around like level 42, so I am more than prepared to utterly thrash this dude. Because yes, this is a dude. I keep forgetting if this is a dude or not. But yes, Justy is a dude. It's kind of one of those names that goes either way. His sprite could kind of go either way. Like, long purple hair, so really it's anybody's guess. Flat-chested, yes, but they've done flat-chested girls in Pokemon before, so yeah, not much to go off of. Other than just looking for pronouns if somebody else is talking about him, being like, oh yeah, Justy, he's the leader of the pre-gym, or something like that. I think probably the best thing to do is just not let that Cacnea do anything. I think it's in Solaceon Town, I honestly don't remember. Pretty much all I've been doing on Platinum lately was, like, making sure I had the Pokedex completely fill out, which I do think they did that better. I do think it's better to have the Pokedex completion be being able to see every Pokemon. That way, like, version exclusives still matter, but they don't matter towards something like completing the Pokedex. You can still do that, but it's also not impossible either. Like, I do think that was a good idea, genuinely. Yeah, correct. You're able to see almost every single Pokemon in the Pokedex. There's a couple of exceptions, Rotom, Manaphy, but largely you can get everything like that, and that forces you to, if you're just wanting to gain levels and you don't want to have to, like, go out and look for things and catch things as often if that's not your style, you don't have to. I do think that Diamond Pearl Platinum, like, had some good stuff in there. I love the underground area. Absolutely adored it. I think that was, like, top quality choice right there. I think they should do that more often, like that kind of thing. I was supposed to say, I'm going to assume Umbreon's going to go first here and just poison whatever comes out. So, like, there is some stuff in there that's good. It just needs a little bit of tweaking, which is very ironic because that's almost exactly how I feel about Colosseum and XD. Like, they're both phenomenal games. There are some fundamental issues, And a lot of the issues in this game got fixed in XD, but XD still had a couple issues, and I feel like if they took one more shot at it and learned from the last two games, they could make it like a really, really solid game that involved the Shadow Pokemon. Which, now that we're getting a new Pokemon Snap, I guess is not outside of the realm of possibility. Still not likely, but not outside of the realm of possibility, because even story-wise, like, if you've seen the end of XD, you know, like, there's definitely potential story-wise. They've left it wide open. So, we'll see. I'll go after a Azumarill, I guess. So yeah, with Diamond Pearl Platinum done on my end, or Platinum specifically done, at some point I'll get around to redoing Black and White. But in case I decide to do going through all the generation of Pokemon on stream, I might wait on Black and White, because I remember very, very little of Black and White. Pretty much the only things I remember were like the specific towns in Black and White that were like all black or all white, like everything was that way. I remember the starters, obviously, and I remember getting one of the monkeys, either Pansy or Pansage or Panpour. And you kind of, quote-unquote, you didn't have to, but it helps, to use that for, it helps to use that for the battle against whichever of the gym leaders you get based on your starter. Other than that, I really don't remember that much. It kind of just, like, disappeared from memory. And I can say, like, I remember not liking Gen 4. I liked it a lot more playing through now. Maybe because I had the patience. Maybe because I was playing on an emulator and could run it at double speed, so running speed was normal. Maybe because I wasn't trying to get through the game as quickly as possible to, you know, get as much content unlocked as I could, so I could, you know, do all that content with friends. I don't know what it was, but, like, I did enjoy it more this time. So I'll be curious to see when and if I do Black and White, whether it's on stream or in my own free time, to see if it's as bad as I remember, if I'll like it as much as I remember. I don't know. We'll kind of see on that front. Because as somebody who also recently redid Fire Red Leaf Green and Ruby Sapphire Emerald, I can still kind of say, like, Ruby Sapphire Emerald's still my favorite, and I don't feel like it's the nostalgia of starting proper with Gen 3. Like, Silver was the first one I ever played, yes, but I didn't get all the way through it until I got a copy of my own. I borrowed it from a friend and got, like, halfway through the game, roughly. So I think I just do like Gen 3, and it might be I know it inside and out. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's just really solid as a whole. I never found myself going through any particular area where I was like, oh, I really don't like going through here. Just it never came up. Not even Victory Road was that way. And there's a million different things that could be attributed to, sure, but like, I'll jokingly say someone's opinion is wrong about something, but very rarely am I just like, I completely disagree and I refuse to hear why because of all these reasons it's bad. Even if it's a gen that I don't typically like, I'd be like, okay, interesting, what did they see that I didn't see? Like, what did I miss? What am I not getting here? Also, yes, in case you couldn't tell, because I've been completely ignoring this Justy fight, he is a double team spammer. So that's a good reason to wait on this fight if you want to, because nobody likes anybody that does this. And everybody knows somebody that does this, and if you don't know somebody who does this, you're the person that does this. Stop doing it. Stop making the game not fun for the rest of us. It's double team spammers and people that use, like, status ailments to lock you down. Haha, you paralyzed the wrong person, sucker. But, like, it's just not enjoyable, I guess, whenever you play that way. And, like, I don't think just, like, smashing them with the hardest attack in the history of the world is fun either. But, like, when you're just stuck, especially if it's, like, you know, all 4 of the Pokemon are like this rather than a single, where everyone's just stuck, not able to do anything, because it's like, oh, they're paralyzed, oh, they're confused, oh, they're frozen, where they, like, just literally no one can do anything. Not a fan. I've never been a fan of, like, in any game, it doesn't even if it's, like, friggin' Dokapon, where everyone's just stuck and can't do anything. Because I always, especially in an RPG, I like to imagine that you can make progress in some way. Whoa, hello, camera. Also, he will give you this. The TM27. Which is... Return. In case you wanted it. It's there. It's available. Just so you know. But yeah, like, I always like to figure that, especially in an RPG, like, no matter what you're doing, in some semblance you're making progress. Like, even when you're grinding levels, like, you're not making any story progress, but you're making progress in the fact that you're getting stronger. Like, that's kind of the way it is with Dokapon. Sometimes you're just like, well, I can't beat these bosses, they're way too high level, they're just gonna absolutely destroy me. I'll go and fight monsters, it will level up my job, it will increase my level, it will give me more money to buy things. There's always something you can do. And so when you don't have that ability to do anything, and especially, again, when nobody has the ability to do any of that, and the more people it is, like, the more people this affects, the worse it is. Because if it's one person, like, yeah, it happens every now and again where you're just kind of stuck. But if it happens to multiple players, then it's a problem. It just gets more and more and more obnoxious the more time goes on. Just not a fan of when that happens. Right, let's go buy some more, probably just Ultra Balls at this point. I'm not gonna, like, shell out all my money for these, but I'm gonna shell out a fair bit. This is also a very good reason to do the Colosseum fights here, because as you can see, if I wanted to, I could just, like, buy a bunch of these. I'm not going to buy 35, especially since I'm holding almost 10. I think I'm going to buy... Yeah, that's probably plenty. Do I have anything that I wanted to sell? If I did, it's going to be in here. I can sell the rare candies. I forgot I had those. Yeah, I think that should work. And I can do it on the way getting back to where I was. I'm also going to drop off the Silver Powder, the Dragon Fang, all those other items, since item space is limited. That was another thing I appreciate about Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. I still wish the PC was available to, like, just throw in items that you don't want for the time being. But I do like the unlimited inventory. That is a nice feature. It's just I don't want to have to scroll through a million things, and the only option to get them out of there is to either equip them on a Pokemon, which most of the time is kind of weird, or sell them, which presumably in this situation you don't want to do, and so as a result it's kind of a problem. But yes, the unlimited inventory was very sorely needed. What all do I have out of curiosity? Yeah, these are mostly just, like, stuff that's like, oh yeah, you can increase the Ice-type moves, Dragon moves, whatever. I'm actually going to withdraw these and use them, and the reason being is Psychic doesn't have a lot of power points, and I want those, so let's go ahead and use those. This isn't a team we're using for competitive, so we might as well just go for it. And it's not like I'm going to get rid of Psychic, like, let's be real here. Of all the moves that I'm assuredly keeping on Espeon, that is number one. I'm going to assume that just upped it by 3, but... Oh, it upped it by 2 each. Okay, cool. That's even better, actually. Yeah, 16 is way better than 10, though. I will gladly take that. What do I have for items on everybody? Macho Brace, Twisted Spoon, Poison Barb, EXP Share. He is the lowest level right now, I believe. Soak Scarf, Quick Claw. Alright, that ought to work for now. And I know that the my Typhlosion still has the Charcoal. since I just bought all that... There we go. Yeah, I know, good old Adamant Ampharos. I did all that work to reset the natures for Umbreon and Espeon, since in the first run, or in the first part, they were... One of them was bad, and one of them was arguably bad. And then, after all that work, and I finally got how I wanted, then I just got a really bad Ampharos nature. I think it's safe to say that's probably the worst one I could have gotten. If not, it is definitely in the top 3. Espeon was naughty before. I don't remember... I think whatever it was, it had its special attack lowered, which is... It was either its special attack lowered or its defense lowered, but... Typically, you don't ever want your defense or special defense lowered, because defense is going to be important for both, regardless, so... So I know we did not fight anybody in here, other than this dude that was like, you're the 1000th person to show up, as if that's true, we just opened today, har har har. Jackass. But I don't think we fought anybody else, so... I'm going to mix it up, A, because this is the lowest level Pokemon, and B, these two are not exactly both built for strictly offense and nothing else. But now, let's get into some actual battles that don't involve knockoffs of Mirror B or a gym trainer, pre-gym trainer, sorry, that we should have fought ages ago. Also, yeah, I know the Macho Brace cuts speed in half, but Ampharos is just so slow as it is, it's fine. We'll go use old good old Earthquake Protect here. Learning from Dakim after he kicked my butt last time. Twice, I think. I think he beat me twice. I think he just destroyed me the first time and narrowly beat me the second time, or destroyed me the first time and I narrowly beat him the second time. I don't remember, but he was the main reason that I was like, I probably need to level up because we're probably going to finish the game tonight. And while they're low level here, whenever we get to the very end, they're going to be way stronger than this. We're talking like almost 20 levels stronger. So if I seem over-leveled now, don't worry, that will change. We'll be good on that. Don't worry about it. Also, this looks to be a team of mostly steals. Just because I don't want to potentially fail the, yeah, the final boss. Exactly. Who will absolutely annihilate. I will say that kind of is a problem with both this and XD, is like, towards the end of the game, there's just like a level jump that's absolutely insane, where you're like, yeah, this is pretty good, I'm staying on track, and oh, they're 30 levels higher than me. Where it just like, I mean, they always kind of come out of nowhere, and granted, it's the end of the game, but, like, you just don't expect them to just jump from, like, oh, yes, I've got a couple levels on them to, oh, they have, like, several on me all of a sudden. And it's not like you're skipping, you know, fights or anything like that. It's just, they're just really high level all of a sudden. You didn't go out of order, nothing like that. I gotta think that that's... Like, maybe that's just the point where that's where they expect you to start going for all the Colosseums and doing all the side stuff. But some people don't want to do that. Some people just like going through the end of the story, which is totally fine. And it kind of punishes the player for wanting to just play the story, which is a very strange choice to make, in my opinion. It probably won't work that well, but let's find out. Protected itself. I don't have water absorbed, tragically. On my other file, I did make sure to get at least not horrible natures for everything, and the abilities I wanted, so on the other file, he does. In this case, in case you're wondering or didn't know, he has Damp, which prevents self-destruct / explosion. Which isn't horrible, but that's way more situational than being hit by a water move. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Not very good for Fortress with Explosion. Well, he doesn't have Explosion, so we're good in that regard. Haven't played Diamond Pro yet. Just get used to, like, the slow movement. Like, everything is slow in the game. The movement is slow, the battles are slow. If you want the game to go to normal speed, like, you're gonna have to turn the battle animations off. Even, like, the experience share, or not the experience share, even the experience bar going up is slow. Like, it's just, it's definitely a problem with that game, for sure. Which is why, again, I hope that that's something that gets fixed. Will I pick up the remake? Maybe. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. And, like, I would definitely pick up the Skyward Sword remake first. Like, I am actually very looking forward to it, and I was super excited when it got announced, because Skyward Sword is my second favorite Zelda, behind Majora's Mask. And my friend that got me into Zelda was, like, absolutely devastated, because he despises Skyward Sword. He did not like it at all. Which is weird, because most of the, like, he likes pretty much every other Zelda game. Like, he even likes Zelda 2. And I'm not a fan, personally. Like, I get what they were trying to go for, but it's not for me. Sorry. But yeah, no, he was not a fan of Skyward Sword, so I was like, oh, this is absolutely perfect. Like, this will give people a chance to appreciate this game like they should have the first time. And he's like, no, how could this have happened? I wanted them to remake Ocarina again. And I'm like, dude, they made it for N64, released it on the GameCube, or re-released it on the Virtual Console, and then did a 3DS port of it. You're good. You don't need another one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Skyward Sword, personally. I will still be using the motion controls, and no one can deter me from doing that. And the main reason being is because that's literally how the game was initially designed. So, provided that the controls are a little bit more tight, because I know people did complain about that. I never had too big an issue with it, but I get it. If the controls are tight, they're going to work better like that than they will be by inputting stuff on the quote-unquote C-stick, or one of the Joy-Cons. It will work better, potentially. And I hope it does, personally. But we will see. I think the only two things I really want fixed is Fi needs to talk less. Actually, three. Fi needs to talk less. I want to be able to skip cutscenes first run through. Like, straight out the gate. And, they need to not do the stupid Twilight Princess thing of showing every time you get any sort of drop. Monster Claw, Jelly Blob, whatever. It needs to happen once. Don't make it happen again. But other than that, like, that would fix all the key problems for me. Because the only really other big issue I have with that game is the minigames are particularly bad. It's just a bad set of minigames, which is a real shame, but it is true. But I think with better motion controls, some of them could be better. I think the minecart stuff could be better. I think the bow and arrow stuff could be better. So, I personally hope it does well. I look forward to playing it again. Long live Skyward Sword. I was on a hack. Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind seeing hacks of this one. I do wish this was more, like, these are more accessible, and I keep going back and forth on whether I wish the GameCube library was accessible on Virtual Console or not. Because on one hand, I would love for people to get a chance to genuinely play all these games that they might have missed out on, like Kirby Air Ride. Please make another Kirby Air Ride. Oh my god. But, like, these two games, Kirby Air Ride and whatnot, but at the same time, like, a lot of my collection for GameCube is, like, you know, is pricey games, and I know they go down, but I would probably never sell those games unless I, like, absolutely had to. Because I've got some of the more expensive ones, like Path of Radiance, for example. But at the same time, I would love for people to get a chance to actually experience Path of Radiance. So, like, it's just so back and forth on whether I'd want to see it or not. But I want to see those libraries expand on games that people didn't get to play. Like, again, like Kirby Era, like Mother 3, like all these gems that a lot of people just missed out on, and then they'll watch playthroughs of it and be like, wow, this game was really good, how come I never saw this? And it's like, well, they didn't make a lot of copies, or it didn't get released in North America, or, you know, whatever the reason was. Because it's always a shame whenever, like, people don't get to experience those games. Like, again, you can emulate them, and it's always funny that, like, obviously the companies themselves are going to bash the emulators, but it's like, we just want to play the games. If you would release them, we would purchase them, but you don't want to, so we're out of luck. Like, we can either buy the game from somebody else on Amazon, eBay, whatever your purchasing, you know, preference is, or we can download the emulator of it. You're not making the money off of it regardless. Sorry. We'll go with Quillfish, I guess. I don't have a preference here. Bye, Ninetales. May we see you in another Naruto episode, of which there are many. I have actually watched a decent chunk of Naruto. I've not seen every single episode, and I have no plans to, because anything that's got that many episodes is too much. I'll just double surf. Do that, I guess. This will stop Magneton from getting a Thunder. I assume that's why I was trying to lock on, was to make sure it hit, but I don't know for sure. Also, Quillfish outsped Swellow. I know it's low level, but that's kind of surprising. Or low level compared to me, but still. I'm willing to bet if they were even levels that Swellow would have absolutely outsped him, though. But yeah, anything like that where it's just like, I feel exhausted even thinking about watching all the episodes and I haven't even watched them, probably not going to do that. So if Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, like any of them, and I'm not big into anime anyway. But that doesn't even hold just for anime. Like, that's why I'm not a big fan of Breath of the Wild, is like, I'm exhausted thinking about playing it before I even started, which is never a good sign. Don't recall who I am? Surprise! It's Rosso! I wonder what he says if you didn't snag his Quilava. Probably just something about, like, you gave me a thrashing and now it's time to take my revenge, I guess? Quillfish base 85 speed and Swallow's 125. Yeah, so it would definitely outspeed me if the levels were equal. I just happen to have a 12 level lead. Earthquake and... yeah, let's try just doing something mean here. This is not a bad combo idea either. Lower their defense sharply and then hit them with Earthquake, so they're going to take more damage as a result. We'll pretend that I set up my team to do that intentionally. I didn't, though. Like, Umbreon's going to take a little bit of a hit, but not compared, yeah, to Muk. Not even close. A shame, too. I actually like Muk. Muk's actually pretty solid, all things considered, which is, I realize, a very ironic statement. We'll do that. And Umbreon's probably going first, so sure. You ever have that moment when you crit your teammate? Yep, many a time. I've also had that Camerupt is an idiot moment that Chugga Conroy had, where Camerupt or whoever was still alive when fighting Dakim kept killing Entei. And yeah, it's a problem. It's obnoxious. Where you're just like, I'm trying to get the Shadow Pokemon, and this dummy keeps killing his own teammate, so I can't do it. I really did expect him to have, like, a third Pokemon with or without having his Quillfish. I really did expect that, but I guess not. It was just those two. Oh well. So yeah, it's just his evolved Grimer and evolved Spoink, and he doesn't have anything else unless he's still got the Quillava or Crocodile or Bayleaf, whatever you tried to go for. I hope it wasn't Bayleaf. Though to be fair, if you lost the Bayleaf, you probably weren't missing out on too much. Hi. Wah. I gave you a good jolt, eh? You're waiting behind the door for me? What? Don't you have some roids to take, my dude? Normal type user that uses, why is Astonish coming to mind? Astonish is Uproar. There we go. I don't know why Astonish was, like, just getting blared out in my head. That was not the one I was looking for. I'm gonna get rid of you. May not potentially be enough between this and Surf, but we'll see. And that did half damage, so it's not horrible. Though to be fair, it's no secret that Umbreon is not exactly a sweeper. Ah, barely so. Well, at least it flinched, so... If you're gonna force me to keep it alive, at least there's that. And obviously Bite Wigglytuff, because that thing's dead no matter what. Unless he just decides to use a super potion or something. I didn't point that out either. Yeah, Justy actually did do that in the fight. He did use a healing item, which I think might be the first time we've seen that happen all playthrough. I think it might be the first time it's happened. We've had people withdraw their Pokemon, which is also, for the AI, exceedingly rare, but that was because they got hit by a tract and were like, nope, don't want to deal with that. Which I think is hilarious because even the bots know, like, probably don't want to deal with that today, thanks. That is the one upside to having your opponent at low health. You can kind of just use whatever you want. So it's like, well, I don't want to burn the PP for this, and I know this will do enough to kill it, so sure, use Secret Power, use Return, whatever. You know it's still going to be enough. No, I've had to wait many a time. I've been to conventions with long lines. I'll survive. Honestly, we're still probably fine. We lost Reinhardt, but that's about it. I am gonna go ahead and do that. But other than that, I think we're fine. Technically, that's a waste, I'm aware, but are you here to dine? No! I figured by hitting no, she'd be like, oh, you're not here to dine, you must be here to battle me, but sure. Interesting comment. Oh, not one of those. Ugh. Not a fan of Credilli. It's more like a lichen. It just survives forever. We'll be nice and not call it a cockroach. Yeah. I feel like Umbreon would be better served, rather than just trying to hit Credilli with Bite, of just trying to, like, lower its defense a lot more. And even if it survives, that defense is still gonna stay that way, so... Oh, of course. Well, it didn't matter anyway that I should have used Surf. Well, I'm going to be a jerk and use Surf, and then just say, no, I'm not going to wait for it to wake up or use its turn to call, and do that. Probably the only time you wouldn't just... See? Again, they just know. That's probably the only example of where you wouldn't just call it awake, is if you need it to be awake and then also do a move on the same turn. Well, let's see if they manage to cheat a second time. Spoiler alert, they absolutely will. Haha, didn't work, sucker. Didn't he? Oh, right, because he used spit up. I was like, didn't he already do that? No. Well, he did, but not quite the same way. Could you please find anything else to do? Is that all you know? I can't tell if something's going on outside or if that is actually lightning and thunder. I'm so used to not seeing it, so... No, that actually is lightning and thunder. Cool. I don't think that's going to affect the stream at all. I just really like the sound of lightning and thunder, so... Always have. Earthquake. And... a giant middle finger to Chimecho by waking this up, which will, of course, immediately try to put it back to sleep. Thankfully missed. I don't care. Chimecho wasn't my target as much as it's being a pain in the butt. Got a pretty good amount of HP on the two of these, now that I'm noticing. Oh, hey, Noctowl. I know you're not a Shadow Pokemon, because I already got one of you. Well, Earthquake's not going to be much good now, is it? So... Probably should have done that earlier, but hey, it's gone now, and that's the important thing. Maybe this was just a team built for Hypnosis, because I know that Noctowl can learn it as well. Speaking of which... Oh well, it's probably not important. I would say go for it. Like, honestly, since I've been redoing Ruby a lot, because I found out that I can actually play Ruby from start to finish in one sitting while I'm at work. Which, yes, I know sounds like a lot, but bear in mind I'm using an emulator and therefore have a speed up button. But I've actually been, like, using a lot of Pokemon that I don't normally, as you guys have seen from, like, the things I posted in the group Discord. Of like, hey, I'm going to try using this guy for once. And I've gotten some pretty good recommendations and also results that of like Pokemon that I haven't used before. Last night somebody recommended that I use an Oddish. I posted it in a different group just to see what other results I'd get. And yeah, Oddish is actually not half terrible. I get tired of seeing them 86 trillion times. And therefore like to make fun of killing them in the game. But yeah, not half bad. It ended up being a Vileplume, in case you're wondering which path I decided on that versus Colosseum. Yeah, went with Vileplume. I like a more offense-based, so that's what I went with. And yeah, it was pretty solid. I did not finish that run. I got up through... I did beat Flannery for sure. I did beat Norman for sure. I know I didn't get to Wallace... How far? I think I got to the point where... Now I'm trying to remember. I know Team Aqua definitely stole the submarine. Like, I saw them steal the submarine. I think that's where I stopped. No, I did get far to that. I beat Liza and Tate, so the only one I've not beaten is Wallace. I've gotten 7 badges. I think that's where I stopped. I think it was at beating... Liza and Tate, which is the Psychic Gym leaders. That sounds right. Oh no, now I'll have to send out a Pokemon that's faster than you two, so you can't just use Hypnosis on it immediately. That's a darn shame. Here we get to see Psychic in action, at least. And yes, I realize that's overkill, but just remember, there's no kill like overkill. And there's no noise like a good old dancing Bowser. Who be that? As I wait for it to pop up on my end. I know it will show one day. See you later, Elose. Is it gonna show up on my end? Wait a tick. Yeah, no, it's above. There it is, Breadstick Lord. Thank you for the follow. That was weird that it took so long to show up. I don't know why. Usually it's not that long of a gap, but yes, thank you for the follow. Enjoy your Dancing Bowser as well as Pokemon Colosseum. That was too heavy for some light exercise before a meal. I mean, you're just the trainer. You weren't doing that much. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So yes, let's go back and heal so I can actually get a few of my team members back here. I've already forgotten. That's to Dakim. Or not Dakim, Ein. I still find it weird you can fight him back to back so quickly like that. Like, you literally fight him, and then I think battle-wise you just come here and there's like a couple of the grunts you have to fight. You can skip a couple, but there's only like 2-3 battles between. That still strikes me as really weird, but maybe that's why I'm not a game developer. Actually, it's because I'm lazy, but that's besides the point. I think it actually is raining outside. I can hear a little bit of rain. That's good. We didn't have a very high chance for rain today. I should preface this by saying the weather in Lubbock is so weird that it is actually socially acceptable to talk about it. Seriously, ask anybody around this town, they'll agree with that statement. But we only had like a 25% chance for it to rain, so surprised it did, but very happy with that. Absolutely happy with that. We've not gotten any form of precipitation since the blizzard of death, as we'll call it. And so I'm sure the farmers will appreciate their crops and not getting destroyed. Now it's time to fight Glasses Man, except not really. This is Silva. And believe it or not, he actually managed to do something sneaky for once and get in here. It's probably because he got rid of the, like, Josh Jepson haircut. It kind of gave him away. That's all the info you're going to give me is, hey, the boss is up ahead. Well, at least when you were captured, you gave me something to help me progress. We'll just take this Dr. Mario pill up here. Silva Gunner, yes! Love Silva Gunner. I also like lightning. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Hi, NASCAR. I mean, you have red eyes. You have, like, flowing white hair. Yeah, you're definitely evil, my dude. Sorry, it's kind of obvious. You have fun up there. You have to chase it. We'll get to it later. More importantly, there's doors. And I think one of these leads to a heal and save, so I probably did that point. Oh, I did have to fight him. I guess that counts for something. It means I won't have to trek all the way back, which is nice. We got a bunch of 53s now, so we're got a little bit more freedom to have some fun here. I'm still thinking about putting Rain Dance on him to raise this. It's just I don't use these two together very much because they're both waters. Like, you could put them up against grass, I guess, in theory, because you'd have one that's normal and one that's 4x, but you're probably not going to do that because it's 4x weak. I just wouldn't pair two waters together that often. If I taught Ampharos Thunder instead of Thunder Shock, then maybe. But I would want to keep Thunder Shock for the time being to do a lower amount of damage to the Shadow Pokemon so that I don't accidentally kill them. So, I don't know. My Pokemon are all nursed back to health. Yep, and I'm about to knock every single one of them out. So, good timing, I guess? It's like that moment where you heal your Pokemon and then the opponent uses an attack that gets a critical hit and just kills them anyway, and you're like, okay, what was the point of doing that? It's like the game knew that you were just going to be cheap and heal, and it's just like, no, 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 not today. Out of well, at the very least, out of my love for Salamence and its pre-evolution here, Shelgon, I'm going to make sure that I treat it with the love and respect it always deserved. Salamence will always be my baby, along with Quilava, or the Cyndaquil line in general, but Salamence is very high up there as well. Like, if I could raise a team of 6 Pokemon, like, across all the games, getting any Pokemon I wanted, absolutely Salamence is on that team, without question. Without question, it's on that team. That would be the first one I would put on there. I'm not sure. No one survives the almighty earthquake. Not even me. Yetusmans. He's stupid strong, especially in Gen 3. He just tears through everybody. He was tournament banned for a while, if that gives you any idea of how good he was back in the day. He was the man. Because when you think about it, especially in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, sure, stuff can learn different ice moves, but bear in mind, in terms of like ice-type Pokemon, the only options were the Snorunt line, which ain't gonna happen, at least when you're competing against somebody, Regice, not a horrible choice, and the Spheal line. And I think that's it for ice types in that game. Sure, other stuff can learn Ice Beam. I'm very sure I've run a Tentacruel with Ice Beam, though I do like some ice cream now. Might do that later. But yeah, for ice types, those were your picks. So one that's not very good, one that's water ice instead of just pure ice, and Regice. Those are your options. Or Regice, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah. Because Frostlass was not a thing at that point, which, granted, Frostlass is not exactly... Oh, Delibird, yes, that's always a good option, I agree. Should always use Delibird. How about over that way? Couldn't we take the other elevator? Sure, I guess. It's no good, we can't take this elevator either. Yeah, that was well worth having that moment, I guess. This elevator doesn't work, let's go to the other one. Oh, the other one doesn't work either. Oh, now this one does. But yes, Gonzap, who we've not seen since the intro to the game at this point. It's been a long time since we've seen this dude. So yeah, unsurprisingly, Cypher and Snag'em are working together. Tentacruel carrying a dozen ice cream cones. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, Frostlass can be good. I'm just saying, like, in that, like, of an AI using it, they don't typically do a very good job. But, to be fair, AI does some very questionable things. I got an unfortunate setup here. So, when in doubt, just friggin' go for it, I guess. Don't care about your Quillfish, just blow it up. It'll be fine. See what I mean about the level spike, though? Remember how they were like 39? And that was like 5 fights ago, and now they're 53? Yeah, I wasn't kidding about that. When I said there's a level jump, I meant it. They jumped up by over 10 levels in like 5 fights. I know it's a boss, but the point still stands. Wouldn't it be a shame if something were to happen to that Groudon? Yeah, you're gonna have to hit a lot harder than that dude. Let's see. I'm very sure if Ampharos can get that Thunderbolt off, that Groudon's gone. This was more to try to poison Shiftry than anything. Hey, and it worked! Nice! Yeah, no, Crawdon's actually really good later on. It's just right now, not so much. See, again, that's kind of another good thing about Gen 4 is the physical special split lets a lot of Pokemon be better than they were prior. And then also there's the obvious thing of it gives a lot of evolutions that were sorely needed. Like Weavile, for example. Weavile makes Sneasel much more viable than it is here. And a lot of Pokemon are that way, like Piloswine / Piloswine gets Mamoswine. Like, just a lot of them was like, yeah, that was desperately needed. It was long overdue. I want to keep Ampharos alive, because I'm pretty sure he's got a Shadow Pokemon. I'm going to try to target Hariyama above Shiftry, which is why I switched to a Psychic. Yeah, Gen 4 does have a lot of good stuff. It's just like those core gameplay mechanics, like I said, but like, it's very easy to forget now that we're like so deep into Gen 8 or whatever we're on, like an insanely high amount. It's very easy to forget, like, oh yes, this is the game that actually started doing this mechanic that we've been using to this day. That we just, like, forgot that it originated here, but it did. It's super easy to forget all that. Ah yes, Ferrothorn, my favorite Pokemon. The one that looks like a Happy Meal toy. Let's see if I can check it really quick. It probably won't let me. I wanted to see what gender those two Pokemon were. Shiftry's female. Nope, I couldn't check it fast enough. Dang. Oh well. Alright, Umbreon it is. I was debating on between confusing Shiftry and making it fall in love. But since Shiftry's female and I didn't know what Hariyama was and I was going to try to kill Hariyama anyway, then this is the best option. Because I'm just going to knock out Hariyama right now. Even without that critical, we all know there was no way that thing was surviving a Psychic attack. There was no way. Much too frail. Relative to, you know, between the Twisted Spoon, the same type attack bonus, Espeon having like a crazy high special attack, like, there was just no way. It could have been at full health, and I'm very sure that would have killed it. Alright, so Confused and Poison, that ought to at least semi-help. Espeon's dead now, so that sucks. Okay, so he threw out... Man, I really wish I'd had my Quillab with, or my Typhlosion with me. Could have burned both of those by now. Definitely would have set the pincer on fire. But I didn't want to cheat and look up what he had. I wasn't going to play unfairly or anything like that. I am absolutely taking Typhlosion into like the final gauntlet of Shadow Pokemon. He's absolutely going with me. I know that for a fact. It would not be a horrible idea to confuse and poison both of them and, like, just try to chip away at them that way. As much as I mentioned earlier, I don't like doing this. If it is the optimal strategy with what you have, then you might as well go for it. Because it's going to be the point now where that Shiftry is, yeah, I was going to say is in the red and it's very close to dead, and unless he gets healed, he's probably a goner. Also, Toxic Mist, I thought it had 100% accuracy. Did I get my accuracy lowered somehow? Oh, 85. Never mind. My mistake. Okay, sorry. I thought it was 100%. That's on me. Yeah, get out of here, Shiftry. Never been a big fan of dryads or whatever you want to call those things anyway. Pretty sure that's the one. Is it not? Yes, it is! I almost ran this on my Ruby file last night. I almost ran a Skarmory. I ended up going with Swellow, which I've done many a time, but I almost went with Skarmory. It's just you get Tailo so much earlier than you get Skarmory, and so that was why I went with what I did. I didn't have a Steel type prior to that either. At one point I'm just going to run one. Alright, well... This is probably a dumb idea, but we've done stupid things before. And what is life if not a chance to be stupid? Ah, of course it missed. Well, at least we got that off. And I don't know for a fact, but based on all my experience in catching Skarmory both in this game and any other game, it's stupid hard to catch. So this might take a couple tries. We'll see how it goes. Yes, I'm fully aware that's not going to do a lot of damage. I'm trying to throw paralysis on it. Like that. I'm going to see how much Bite does. And for now, I'm just going to have him do nothing. Her do nothing, sorry. I see Reinhardt, so I think him, because Reinhardt's male, for those of you that don't play Overwatch. If you do play Overwatch, by the way, there's a challenge going on right now to get a Roadhog skin, so if you haven't done that, you've got a couple days to do it. I have not started, so... Alright, so knowing that that didn't do that much, I'm actually going to be okay with confusing it for the time being. Protect will protect me. Toxic won't do anything because it's already got a status effect. Attract won't do anything because it's female and therefore apparently can't be attracted to the same gender because reasons. So for now we'll just use Protect and have it fail, I guess. I don't want to just leave Ampharos out here while it's poisoned, so that's kind of why I'm okay with doing nothing for the time being. And we're also going to have the chance to heal up, obviously, before we move on, so using up Protect is totally fine here. Yeah, if you were going for, like, just strictly killing everything and didn't care about catching Skarmory, Typhlosion would have been a very good pick in this fight, because at least... What was the second one? At least 3 of his team would have been weak to fire, between Shiftry, the Skarmory, because it's a Steel type, and whatever the other one he had out a second ago, Pinsir. So that would have been 3 of them right there. I don't remember the second one he had. He had Crawdaunt. I don't remember the second one he threw out, though. But yeah, you could have torn him a new one with that. Holy cow. Hariyama, yeah, that's who it was, Hariyama. But other than that, you could have torn him a new one. It's really just those. Alright, so that is probably as far as I want to go, really. I don't want to use Screech lower defense because I'd probably end up killing it, so we're just gonna start throwing stuff. Luckily we've got plenty of I don't want to use up a turn moves with Reinhardt, so we're good on that front. I'm willing to bet that's a spam call, but sure. I'll bite. Yeah, 432 area code. I think not. I'm curious, though. I'm gonna look that up as soon as I'm done inputting my commands here. Well, at least it's in the same state. Hey, we got it! Yeah, that's semi-near me, but I don't know anybody who would be calling me from that part of Texas. So, yeah, no. Not answering that call. And like I tell everybody that ever tries to call me, either text me, if you have to call me and it's that important, leave a voicemail. That's probably the... Sure, let's conquer the world together. Oh, alright, or not. Fine. Gone, zapped. More like boom, roasted, am I right? That's probably the easiest time I've had catching that Skarmory. That was only 2 throws, and usually it's more like 15. So we'll just save that before the game decides to crash or the power decides to go out or something. As a famous American Idol host once said, it's a no for me. We're not gonna let it happen. It's a no. I think at this point, if we go up there, I think it's the point of no return, correct? I think that's the point where we fight all the trainers. So, now we're put in a dilemma. I definitely want Typhlosion. We pretty much need Ampharos to paralyze all the Shadow Pokemon. Who are we giving up? I feel like we shouldn't give up Espeon either. I feel like it's gotta be one of these 4. I don't want to get rid of these 2 because people donated for these, so really, to me, it's between Umbreon and Quagsire. And I'm kind of on the fence because, like, they're both good at survivability. Yes, Umbreon has worse moves, but we already have a Water type here. We've already got Surf as well. We'd be keeping it primarily because of its ground moves. We would be keeping Umbreon primarily for Confuse Ray and Secret Power. I guess technically Screech as well, but mostly for Confuse Ray and Secret Power. So I feel like it's probably got to be Umbreon, unfortunately. Feel free to leave your thoughts, but I feel like it has to be Umbreon. I'll wait for a second and answer some Discord messages I've got, but I'm feeling it's going to have to be Umbreon, which is unfortunate. Just take a look at what we got here. Oh, I guess in case you wanted to see all the natures in full. Bashful for Quillfish, Mild for Quagsire, Careful for Umbreon, Brave for Fortress, Rash for Espeon, Adamant for Ampharos, and I think Naughty for Typhlosion? Yep, Naughty for Typhlosion. I guess, too, I think about Umbreon does have a better ability than this particular Quagsire does. I just really want to keep that Earthquake. That's the main thing. I really want to keep that Earthquake. Before I do that, though, just for the time being, I'm going to set this in here very quickly and take that Quick Claw off in case I want to give it to somebody else. I'll still use it in the post-game, but, like, this is kind of the big point of... I think this is where it is, and if it is, we're going to be in this for the long haul, because I believe it's 5 fights in a row, and every single one of them has a Shadow Pokemon. And unlike most games, well, I don't know. I was gonna say I'm not above using the Master Ball in this case, but I don't know. Okay, so summary. Poison Barb, which is only gonna help the Poison Sting. We don't have the water move or the water item because Crocodile has it, and that won't show up till the post game. Experience share, I mean, we can get rid of that too. It's not... I don't really care where experience is distributed right now, so I can live with or without that. Charcoal, I mean, yeah, it's going to be using Flamethrower predominantly, so it makes sense to keep that on. Silk Scarf, again, makes the most sense to keep it on, since most of the hold items we have are increasing a certain type of one move, and the only proper damage move here is Hyper Beam. Twisted Spoon, obviously keep that on. Macho Brace, we could change that. I'm going to take off the Poison Barb, though. But here's the thing. I'm also thinking about putting Rain Dance on Quagsire right now. And so if it's raining, it's going to be going twice as fast, and then it's not going to need the Quick Claw at all. But there's really nothing else we could give it other than the Silk Scarf for Takedown, but I'm not going to be using Takedown that much. So we might as well just give it the Quick Claw, because I feel like that's just going to be more helpful in the long run anyway for the time being. So that's what we'll do. Do we have... What do we have here for items? We have a very loud Lightning Bolt, that's what we have. Rock type, Ghost type, Fighting type, Dark type, Ice type, Bug type, and Dragon type. Okay, so we don't have the Electric one. Because I was going to say swap off the Macho Brace for the time being. I know it boosts the growth rates, but again, we're doing like a 5-man gauntlet here, and it's the end of the main story. So we can afford to switch things around here. Alternatively, what we could do... I'm so torn right now. Because now I'm thinking about taking the Macho Brace off of Ampharos and giving it the Quick Claw instead, so it has the potential to go first. Because if Ampharos gets the chance to go first and do a super effective Thunderbolt, that could be a game changer. And then just put the Poison Barb back on Quillfish for the heck of it. Doing that. Dude, stop. It's 2, not 3. My God. I'm gonna do it. I don't want to lower its speed because it's actually decently speedy. I have to use some Poison Sting. Every now and again, actually. Not like a ton, but every now and again. The other thing I want to do is check what we've got for TMs. Do we have any other poison things? I already used up Toxic, learning it on another one. I don't think... No, we don't have any other poison things here. That might not be bad to have, though, because Brick Break's actually pretty freaking good. I'm not guaranteed to use it, I just want to see who can learn it here. Ampharos, Quagsire, oddly, and Typhlosion. Wouldn't be bad to have a grass move either. I feel like I wouldn't use Solar Beam, but I'd consider it. I feel like I'd rather have the Giga Drain, but that's just me. Only Reinhardt. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really torn right now. Yeah, exactly. Solar Beam doesn't go well with rain. That's why I wouldn't use it. I feel like if I was going to use any sort of weather effects, I would use rain over intense light. Even then, I have to be careful where I use it because of Typhlosion. So I've got 3 options here. If I decide to use this, technically there's a 4th option of not using this. I could either A, use it here, get rid of Mudshot, but there is a decent chance I would get rid of it later for Rain Dance, and I don't want to just waste Brick Break and not have it available again. I could teach it to Ampharos, and that would probably mean getting rid of Thundershock, because I would rather keep the Thunder Wave, obviously keep Thunderbolt, and keep Cotton Spore. And the last one is teach it to Wild, which would probably be getting rid of Flame Wheel, keeping Flamethrower, Dig, and Smokescreen. Obviously, it's a physical move. 115, 134, and 119. So it would be best served on Quillava. Typhlosion, sorry. I'm probably going to keep calling it Quillava. Which also makes sense because of the nature. I'm pretty sure Naughty is plus attack. Like 99% sure Naughty is plus attack. So it makes sense in that regard. Because this is before the physical special split, there's really not much point in keeping Flame Wheel. I'm really tempted. I'm really tempted to get rid of Flame Wheel and replace it with Brick Break. Because, I mean, if we've got the attack stat to use it on him, then we should use it. Like, it's not that low. His attack isn't that low compared to his special attack. It's only 16 points lower. All things considered, that's not that much lower. I'm pretty sure Umbreon's not going to be able to learn Brick Break. Where did that go? I didn't even see where that landed. There we go. Alright, Tails. We're going to try without and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. I think the better option probably is to use it. I've not been using Flame Wheel at all since I got Flamethrower, and that aside, it's more type coverage, but we'll see how it goes without that. And Lord knows we don't need another firefighting type. There's already too many of them, even at this point, even though there's only one. We don't need another firefighting starter. It's plenty. It's too many. What do we want to start with? Call it a hunch. I just feel like there's going to be a bunch of grass types. I don't know why I think that, but I just have a hunch that there's going to be a bunch of grass types. I genuinely do not have a guide open, though. Hand on my heart, I do not have a guide open for this. I have no idea. I'm also kind of okay with whiting out in a later fight if I can manage to snag like 3 or even 4 of the Pokemon, just because that's a couple less that I can save, and then I don't have to worry about those fights, and I can just go as hard as I want to in those fights. So I'm actually okay with losing this after a couple fights. Yeah, we're right at the end of the game. This is the end of the story mode, is fighting a bunch of trainers in a row and then fighting Nazgul. And every single trainer is going to have a Shadow Pokemon. There's not going to be any breaks between them. So, like, there's a better than even chance we'll probably white out, and I'm okay with that happening as long as I can, like, make a net gain of catching at least 1 each time. I'd prefer 2, but if it's 1, then sure, we'll take 1. See, I can hear it thundering out there, but I can't tell if it's actually raining or not. Yeah, Miltank. And Porygon, sure, it's there too, I guess. It's time for Typhlosion to actually get some screen time here. Nice, it was ready for blood. No matter how bad its nature, it will always hold a special place in my heart since it was my OG Pokemon. Speaking of Pokemon that hold a special place in my heart, hello. I wish I could catch that Zangoose. That's the reason I've been playing Ruby and not Emerald, was to run a Zangoose, and holy crap, it destroyed Norman's team. I used Swords Dance on it once, and then Slash, and without a critical hit, it killed both of his Slakings in one hit, and it was lower level than those Slakings. It destroyed them. It was beautiful. I'm sorry, Zangoose, maybe in another time in another playthrough. Which is a nice way of saying, if I stream XD, he's on my team. There's no question. He will be on my team. It will take forever to get to him, and I do not care. I felt like it did a little more that time, but maybe that's just my imagination. This probably ain't gonna work. You know what? I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm not even gonna try. Not this round. I mean, it could catch in theory at that health, but I don't feel like it's going to. So I'm not gonna waste a turn or waste an Ultra Ball. Or it could get a critical. I'm also semi-okay with stuff dying here because I know that there is a very high chance I'm not going to survive this gauntlet. And as a result, I'm going to have to fight him again. Her again. So... look at that strut. Look at that strut. That was so good. Every time they walk like that, I want to start playing If I Had You by Adam Lambert, but... copyright. Also, it would mean I'd have to, you know, go dig up that audio file somewhere. I might check in a second and see if it actually is, like, proper raining, or if it's just having a pissing contest and not actually doing anything. The DMCA. Ah, the good old DCNC from Mother 3. Absol. Oh yes, the butt wiggler. You'll see what I mean if it tries to use a physical move like Quick Attack. It will make sense in context, I promise. Idea is just dark. I always want to say it's dark fire, but it's not. It's just dark. See, this is where Brick Break kind of would have been helpful, because I could have just destroyed it, but I'm pretty sure this will just destroy it anyway. Note how the levels have gone back down again, by the way, and Gonzap had stuff that was like 10 levels higher than this. Well, maybe not 10, but at least 5. Ah, yes, Sharpedo, everyone's favorite pedophile shark. I'm trying to remember if I've run a Carvana before. I don't think so, but it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth when you have to deal with them because of all the Team Aqua / Magma grunts. Mostly the Team Aqua grunts because, you know, Aqua. Do that again, and... and sneeze very violently. And now my chest hurts. Well, Absol's dead. Good job, Sharpedo. Proud of you. Oh yeah, it's definitely coming down. I don't even need to check now. I just heard it. Oh, such wonderful noise. I love it. It's so good. Although you can tell it's still falling over despite the fact that it's underground. I'm probably going to check anyway to see how hard it's coming down here in a second. Sure. We'll do that. I was going to say, Ampharos is probably going to kill it regardless, so really it makes no difference. Yeah, it's pretty decent. I mean, for here, it's coming down pretty hard. I'd say, like, comparatively with 1 being barely sprinkling and 10 being like a tropical rainstorm where it's like not quite hurricane, it's probably like a 5, 6, somewhere in there. It's not like I don't think it's gonna knock out the power or anything unless like a lightning bolt hits the Wi-Fi connectivity, which I doubt's gonna happen, but that's why we have those very nice things called lightning rods to stop that from happening. But yeah, coming down pretty decently, so cool. It's times like this where I wish I had a larger porch and I just hang out there and just watch the rain. If I wasn't streaming right now, I'd crack open the windows, let some of that cold air get in, because oh my gosh. In fact, I'm going to check it while we're waiting on Cypher Peon here. And see just how bad it is. Yeah, we've been having problems with the AC in the building recently. My temperature is set to be at 63. It's currently 79 in here. And that is not with the equipment running. Like, I turned the equipment on, like, probably 6:45-ish. And it was the same temperature then that it is now. And I hadn't had the equipment running for almost over 24 hours. And it had the windows open, so I know it's not just the equipment that's all coming from. Well, let's see what happens, I guess. I guess Quacks are using right now. Maybe, you never know. Oh, I thought that was going to do way more than that. I was expecting that to at least get knocked into yellow. But yeah, by all means, bring on the rain. It ain't gonna bother me none. I love the water. I mean, like, don't flood the parking lot or nothing, but, you know, that's a different story for a different day. Because you can probably guess in a town where you don't get a lot of rain how good the drainage system is. There is none. Yeah, get out of here, Torkoal. Nobody has to hang out with you. I'm surprised it hadn't gotten evolution or pre-evolution yet, but oh well. One day. Maybe. Probably not. That actually might work out exactly how I needed to. Barring the whole Quillfish dying thing, that was more what I meant was the recoil. Yeah, I don't know if the mic will be able to pick up the rain. Obviously it can pick up the thunder, but I don't know if it can pick up the rain. But yeah, it's actually, like, the wind's blowing it sort of towards me now. So you might be able to hear it. If it hears staticky, if it feels staticky or sounds staticky rather, yeah, that's the rain. That's not, like, an audio issue. That's just straight up the rain. This is more to target the mad cargo than anything else. I was about to say if it survives, but yeah, obviously that didn't happen. And there we go. Bingo. That's just what I was waiting for. Put up a reflect, because why not? Mudslap kill. Yeah, it just killed that mad cargo. Not that mad cargo was ever known for being, like, the best Pokemon ever, but... It's less about Mudslap being, like, good and more of like having a ground type that doesn't, or a ground type move that doesn't multi-target. And less about not multi-targeting my ally and more about not multi-targeting a shadow Pokemon that it might accidentally kill. Sweet, we actually got one. That's one little less they'll have to worry. I will probably intentionally take a loss at this point if I get all the way through. Because in terms of, like, levels, if I was just fighting them, like, full force, like, they'd be falling like dominoes thus far. But I do want to go back and get the Miltank and the Absol. I'm pretty sure they give you chances to catch these again, even if you don't. But the point still stands, I'd rather get them here. I'm the last battler. It's weird that they have, like, two... Yeah, look at that guy doing the sexy dance in the background there. That was nice. The guy wearing, like, the pink shirt. There's Tropius, which is the fourth one. No, not another Credilli. I don't want to deal with this thing. But yeah, no, I'll be catching Tyranitar. If I do the post-game, which I see no reason not to, I'll be getting the 2 starters that I didn't pick up. I'll be getting all those. I'll be getting the Togetic. Probably trading it for the Elekid. Tropius won't get damaged by Earthquake because it's part flying. Earthquake Protect! I know it's only going to hit one Pokemon, but like I don't really have a good matchup against Tropius right now, so... Sure, that's actually not bad. I'll take that. I was expecting like a third, maybe. That was close to about 2/3. It'll be about half after this, but still, I'll take that. It's not like I could have prepared for that fight because there was no switching, like, what order I was going in between battles. So, like, really, there's nothing much I could have done there. Yeah, no, I'd rather catch Credilli. It's just I don't like having to fight them. They're obnoxious because they just last forever. Like diarrhea. Just hit it as hard as we can. I don't want it here. I don't want it to like get a chance to use Ingrain or something like that and just make it 30 times worse. I'm not going to give it that chance. It's also another reason I'm okay with resetting is I'll get a couple levels out of this too. Oh, hi Cacturn. I don't know why I was surprised to see you. This is clearly a grass-type team. Bye, Cacturn. You will be missed. He won't actually be missed all that much. Cacturn's kind of creepy. Alright, well, I can get Vileplume out next turn with Espeon. So let's just eliminate that. Your poison subtype has failed you once more. Twitch, twitch. I love how the petals twitch. I think that's a great touch. I'm not about to risk poisoning that. Sorry. It's just not gonna happen. I'm trying to think of some other good... Explodes is pretty good. Explodes is pretty solid. It like flails a little bit, flails around a little bit, and then its jaw just like drops. A la Wario's taunt from Smash drops, and it's pretty funny. Thunder Wave at first before we do anything else. Might as well do a little bit of setup here. Try to block some of his damage. Not that Fly's exactly a good competitive move, since it literally telegraphs what you're doing. want to do nothing and just use Thunder Shock and see how much this does. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know it's normal damage, and yeah, that critical hit could have, yeah, not a fan of that. Let's just try to catch it now, I guess. Let's see what happens. Might as well. He used Fly just to get leftover. That is a very interesting strategy. I don't know that much about competitive, but that seems a bit weird, but I can believe someone trying it. Nice, we got that one too. Okay, cool. So we just have to catch 2 of the 4, and then for the next 2, we can just hit them as hard as we need to. It's also 1 less Pokemon to deal with on their teams, which also helps. We've done it. We've beaten the gauntlet, except not really, because technically this is still part of the gauntlet. Bravo! Oh, jeez. Aren't you? Not even intimidating looking, you just look like you need a little bit more work done on your face. Whale Rim and Blaziken, huh? Alright, well, or Walrein. I don't know why I said Rim. Whale Rim, Walrein. That's obviously Walrein. Goodbye, if provided that doesn't miss for some stupid reason. Oh, I forgot he did that. That ain't good. Yep, time to get rid of that. Okay. I was not cheating and seeing what was on his team. I was going to make sure, because we might as well go ahead and spoil it. This isn't the last fight in the gauntlet. You're going to have to fight one other person after this, so. I'm willing to bet that probably does not surprise anybody since the game's been out for a hot minute. But, just wanted to make absolutely sure. So I'll get rid of Blaziken at least. Let's see, I know it's not going to do anything to Walrein, but Walrein wasn't exactly the target there. I never did take that experience share off of Quagsire. Oh well. We know who that's going to target. Yep. Oh, he actually survived that. Nice. Well, let's try to crush them all we can, I guess. What a ho... I know he's got a very hoeing team. Isn't that, like, actually a good team, though? Like, thus far, these are all Pokemon that I've run before. Which, granted, I played Gen 3 so much, I've run all the starters multiple times before, so... And I think everybody's run Gardevoir at least once, unless you just didn't want to bother finding it. I've run one of those before as well. Not very well, but I did. That was back when I started, because I had to have a Ghost type on my team, no matter what. I had to have a Ghost type. He's not bad. I believe I used him when I played XD as well, but he's not bad. If you want to take advantage of that same type of attack bonus and don't want to use Reggie Ice, Seize is going to be your pick. What do I want to get rid of next? Probably Dusclops. Walrein at least got hit by a smoke screen, so it doesn't have perfect accuracy going for it right now. So... yeah. How would you be able to do anything with your hands there like that? Like, you don't have any wrist or arm, and they're, like, down by your hips. It'd be completely useless. Worse than, like, T-Rex arms. Oh, we're gonna play that way, huh? We're just gonna spam all the status effects now. No wonder you're not the final boss. I'll try for it anyway, I don't care. If that had broken through anyway, I would have laughed. Again, not who I was really targeting with that. Ah, he survived it. Dang. What are you trying to take with it? That's the real question. Rear. It was more for honor than anything. It was like, well, we might as well kill something with Poison Sting. Now that I stood by that, I use it every now and again. I want to keep it going. Yeah. I want to save that Ampharos for a Shadow Pokemon, so... and I don't know if he's got 1 left or 2 left. He did have 2 left, yeah, saw 2. I could have taken... maybe I should have thrown out Ampharos. I could have knocked out both of those guys with that. Oh well. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, right? Like, I should get rid of it because of the whole in love thing, but it keeps missing with Ice Beam, so maybe I should keep it on the field. I don't know. As long as it keeps missing, then it can't do anything, then that's fine with me. Essentially make it a 1v1 fight, I feel like that'd be a lot easier to manage. There he is. There's the Metagross. I've absolutely run one of these before and know how much problems it can cause for the opponents. This thing can be deadly if played the right way. Well, I got rid of the confusion at least. Not that it mattered. Decision for this. Take out Walrein right now. Now that because he's just down to those 2, so getting out Walrein would be the wisest thing to do right now. I forgot Metagross is genderless, so Attract's not going to work on it. Toxic won't work because it's Steel, so Poison won't work. Let's see if we can fake him out by using Protect, and maybe he'll waste all of his attacks on trying to get out Fortress and fail. Nice. Looks like a Happy Meal toy when you do that. Alright, I'm gonna lose one of them regardless, I'm very sure of that, so I want to make sure that Walrein goes. Lucky that missed there. Happy Meal away! I'm sure you guys heard about all that controversy too about whenever they were doing the Pokemon cards for the Happy Meal toys, speaking of which. And like a ton of people went out and bought them as a result. Like adults went out and bought them, and so they kept having problems with keeping them in stock. They should have mentioned, like, yeah, there's not going to be anything rare, there's not going to be anything exclusive, just so, like, kids could have their Pokemon cards in peace. It happened weeks ago, yeah, but it's also been weeks ago since we last streamed, so... Alright, so that brings it down to just Metagross. Thunderwave, obviously. Why would I not do that? Nah. Protect. I'll see how much this does. If this does, like, next no damage, I'm going to switch to Thunderbolt, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I could probably hit him with a Thunderbolt. In before it crits. Just do the same thing there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So even there. He might be able to survive if he gets hit with recoil from Shadow Rush. We'll see what happens, though. Protect. And Ultra Ball. I didn't expect the first one to catch. That would have been cool, but I was not expecting that. Paralyzed, attack the wrong target, maybe? No, he's probably going to go for Ampharos. Not surprising. If I get knocked down to 1, I might revive someone on my team till I catch this, because I do... Like, at this point, we might as well try and get him, right? Yeah, Jan's not going to do anything, so protect. And throw another one. I'm glad that NASCAR's just letting me do this over and over. Very polite of him not to, like, try and stop me from throwing the ball at him. Sorry, something about him just getting Mike Wazowski like that was really funny. It's like, here's a picture of NASCAR, and now he's gone. This was also part of the reason I was potentially okay with having to go back, is I figured that something like this was going to happen for at least 2 of the Shadow Pokemon, if not more, and that I would have to go back and buy more Ultra Balls. And it would not have surprised me to see that happen. Yeah, go ahead and do that. It's not that much of a loss that using a Hyper Potion would be worth it. Yeah. Kind of the downside is there's just such a big gap between healing items. It's like, oh, this heals for 20, this heals for 50, this heals for 80, this heals for 200. Like, we can't have like a 100 and a 150 in there? No? Alright, cool. Like, I'm aware there is Moo Moo Milk, but I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. And yeah, they did nerf it to 120 later on, but there's still a couple more gens to go before that happens. He's gonna run out of psychic move, like the actual psychic move, PowerPoint wise, in a second here. The rate he's going. Yeah, let's go ahead and protect. If I was truly playing to quote-unquote the best of my ability, I would be alternating who I was using the Pokeball on so I could be protecting with Reinhardt every other turn, but eh. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Oh, apparently I used it last turn, I guess. Maybe, I honestly don't know. Here, have another one. This time I actually will use it because it's low enough to where I feel like that... I'm not getting a full 200 out of it, but I'm getting pretty dang close, so... And I'm pretty sure the most I could restore at this point is like 190, and that would be if Umbreon was at 1 health, so... doing more and more damage with that each turn now. Mostly because it's lowering my special defense. I'm just going to keep using this until he runs out of Psychic, and then he'll probably try to use a physical attack. I have no idea if this thing has Meteor Mash or not. It's obviously got Shadow Rush and Psychic. I don't remember what else it has, though. With any luck, we may never find out. We may just snag it right here. Or I could just tell you what moves it has. Since I already had the guide up. Metal Claw and Iron Defense, in case you're curious. Meaning if it was going to continue attacking, it would resort to either Metal Claw or Shadow Rush. Hopefully Metal Claw between the two if I had to pick, so it wouldn't kill itself with Recoil. Well, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but it sounds like the lightning and thunder and rain, by extension, have completely stopped, which is not uncommon for here for it just to leave as quickly as it came, so... I was afraid it was going to do that. Oh well. This guy's just sitting here like, will this jackass run out of lemonades and Ultra Balls already? Watch me just run out of Ultra Balls, throw a Great Ball, and like the first Great Ball I throw catches it. A la Emil. You know what? Let's try it. I'll bet it'll work, too. Actually, don't use it for Fortress this turn. Since we don't need to heal... Since I'm going to assume he's going to keep going after Quagsire, might as well protect, and then use a Great Ball. He loves the stalling. I mean, that's what we designed Fortress for, was to stall. It's a giant defensive wall with the protectability to make sure it can't take damage a couple of rounds. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work, but you never know. Yeah, he's going to keep going after Quagsire until Quagsire's dead. Or he dies, whichever happens first. Like that, for example. Sorry, just the lag in music, just like, oh right, we're supposed to play a tune! The battle finally ended! And what a surprise! The real villain. Fatty Ginormous / Dr. Eggman / Escade. As in, like, Facade Escade, yeah. Like, he literally left the dude's house at the start of the game. You probably would have figured it out right then and there. Okay, now he looks more like Eggman. And apparently he can fly. Like, this is being shown to thousands of audience members. Wouldn't they just, like, be like, oh, this guy's evil. Someone call the cops. But no, he's the strongest trainer in the main story, so therefore he cannot be defeated by anyone but us. That's absolutely how that works. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw this one. I want to go back and get the remaining ones. It'd be kind of funny if he ended up killing one of his team members and I got to see more of his team just because he stupidly kept using Earthquake over and over. Sure, I'll help you out there. Everybody will use Earthquake. There will be no survivors here. Not a one. At this rate, he is absolutely going to kill that Slowking. And I'm not going to do a damn thing about it. Well, I will, because I just used, I just had Quagsire use it, so Quagsire will technically be the one to kill it. But that does not make it any less funny. Because 95% of the damage done to that was by his ally. And that's funny. So a Slowking, a Machamp, what else you got? Since you were just so kind to basically give me a freebie on seeing what another member of your team is. My baby! How dare, sir. How dare. If I had Ice Beam on one of my team members, I would kill that just out of spite. Just blow up the Machamp now just for the heck of it. An explosion kill minutes. Not while Quagsire's on the field because it's got damp for its ability, so it wouldn't be until now. Even then, it might not, just because of how crazy strong Salamence is. I feel like we've seen him do this somewhere before. Oh right, it was literally last turn. Show me what else you got. I'm tired of just seeing Earthquake over and over. I'm, like, actively throwing this fight, and you've still lost 2 of your team members. One of which was entirely your own fault, but still. Scizor. I'll be sure to annihilate that with Typhlosion when the time comes. Seriously, there ain't no way that thing's gonna survive a flamethrower, and it's also slow, so... Or at least compared to Typhlosion it will be. I doubt it's gonna get a chance to go, but out of curiosity, if I actually get the chance, I want to see how strong it would be. To use Thunderbolt on it. Just out of curiosity more than anything. Of course, it's lost like 1/8 of its health due to using Double Edge over and over, so... Yeah, it's pretty decent damage. 2 of those would be enough to take it out. Again, for spite. It probably won't survive because, yeah, Salamence will just use Double Edge again. And provided it's going after Ampharos, which I don't see why it wouldn't. Oh, it survived! Haha! Man, if we could catch that Salamence right now. Not that it would matter because it would get killed here. First fight! I'll teach you to use a Salamence against me. Oh, he was slacking. I forgot he had that. Hope he sends that out early and then paralyze and confuse it and then let its loafing around screw him over. Yeah, might as well. Could you, like, just attack? Maybe? Dude, like, I'm literally just throwing the game to you. Just attack with slacking once, and provided the attack connects, you've won. But nope, we're just gonna spam Silverwind here. Right, and I'm the one that has a Pokemon that stalls. Like, what the heck you need 2 X attacks for anyway? Thank you, my gosh. Oh, so yeah, that was Swords Dance boosted. He used Swords Dance earlier in that fight. Scizor. Do we pay out money to the winner in this fight? I don't think we do. It's still a decent amount of money either way. I might go buy more Ultra Balls. 19. Yeah, I don't feel like 19 is going to be enough to catch the 4 remaining ones. Because unsurprisingly, Evis also has one. Because we only got a third of them there. Granted, most of losing those was due to the failed Metagross catch, not so much the other two. Yep, we're doing those 4 battles again. If you lose on the last one, you gotta do it all over from the start. Or in my case, if you throw it because you want to catch all the Shadow Pokemon, you gotta do it all again from the start. There's a reason I called it the Gauntlet. Because it is exactly that. And if you want to go back and buy any items, you gotta go all the way back through Raugam Tower. Which is why I'm glad we're doing this on a Friday night and not on... Well, I mean, it's technically on a weekday, but the following day is not a weekday. So yeah, if you're wondering why we cut any footage, or no, I don't remember if we cut any footage or not. I don't think we did. If you're wondering why this took Icarus a long time to get through when she played it, yeah, this is why. It was not entirely due to her bad playing, it was due to the fact that it expects a lot out of you. And I'm pretty sure I told her, like, you can catch these later. If you don't want to bother catching them, then just kill them. And made sure she was over-leveled, and I'm pretty sure we didn't bother catching all 6 of them. I'm pretty sure she just mowed them down, which was fun to watch, admittedly. Oh, wait, why am I going all the way down there? Yeah, that was about where I was, actually, I think, when I started that area. Is there anything I can sell that I don't want? I could sell the Master Ball! Aw, nope. No dice. I keep wanting to go to that center one because I'm like, oh, it's the final area, so it's probably like right in the center of the map because it's the only thing that's actually there that's in the middle of the map. Nope. Not directly. It's in the middle bottom, but it's not directly in the middle. Well, the good news is I didn't really have to heal that much outside of stalling to try to catch the Metagross. But if it had been just like a straight up fight, I would have been absolutely fine. Also, I was not paying attention to see if they healed me between battles. I know they did for Evis, because I had like my full team and I was down to 2, I think, at that point, maybe 3. No, I'm pretty sure it was only 2. So I know they healed me for that. I don't know if they healed me for the gauntlet, though, or the first part of the gauntlet. Just imagine it's like the Nugget Bridge on steroids. That'll help dull the pain a little bit. The one upside is this will go slightly faster, if only because there's 2 less of them to catch. I don't know why this one in particular is so smoothly animated. It's just so weird. I mean, it cuts to black, so it's obviously like a little bit, quote unquote, a little bit more pre-rendered than the previous one, but it still looks weird. Should've probably done that earlier, since experience isn't exactly important right now. If I forget it after I try this a 3rd time, if I mess up, oh well. But yeah, probably should have done that sooner, for what little it mattered. I've already seen the first person's team, so I'm not going to feel bad at looking at them again, just see what they had. Normal, flying, and normal. Well, that would be fighting predominantly, but not that it really matters. We'll switch Ampharos into the front. Yeah. Let's do that. Since this first one only has 3 and the second one only has 3, it won't exactly be hard to knock out one and just paralyze the shadow Pokemon immediately. And in the case of the second one, it's a Sharpedo, so... Oh, do I just jump straight to you? Alright, well, if I had known that... I mean, I'm pretty sure you get another chance to catch those. I was very sure it forced you to do that entire thing again. Maybe you have to lose to the 4th one? Or Nascor, maybe? I specifically remember losing to Evis and having to do the whole thing again. Also, now I get to incinerate that Scizor like I promised, so that will be fun. Oh, that was so satisfying. Well, I already saved, so there's not any going back now anyway. But the good news is, for anybody that cared, I believe for any Shadow Pokemon you did not catch in this section, that they will show up in the Under Coliseum, which is only accessible, I believe, in post-game. But they will show up there after the game's over, for like during the final challenge, and so you're capable of catching things there. It probably comes as no surprise as that I will be using the Earthquake Protect combo. Have fun, suckers. Also, I noticed he didn't use the X attacks that time. And there's my baby. They're probably not going to survive this, but I might as well try. He didn't start with those two, did he? I don't think he started with... He started with... Like, the last time... I'm pretty sure he didn't start with the same set here. Because he had Machamp and Slowking, right? He didn't start with Scizor and... Yeah, he did start with a different team. Well, that's cheap. Hopefully that will mess with it a little bit more. In the meantime, let's try to get that out of here. I had a feeling it knew that it was going to be way too powerful in terms of doing special damage. Now that I know he can switch it up, I'm going to be a little bit more prepared for this next fight. If I'd known he was going to be able to switch it up like that, I would have gone in with a different strategy. But I'm still going to kill that Salamence out of spite that I can't catch it. Don't worry, you can catch one in XD all the way at the end of the game. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. There's no way I'm going to be able to win this. Like, the only way I could win at this point is if I item spammed until Slowking and Slacking both got killed by poison, and then Master Ball Tyranitar. Oh, okay, I was thinking of a different move. I was thinking for some reason that was the one that, like, swapped stats with your opponents. I'm like, you just used an X attack. Why would you do that? Oh, you jackass. You're gonna use a 4. This isn't an Elite 4 fight. What are you doing? Yeah, get immobilized by love. I think I'm thinking of Power Swap. I'm not sure what I was thinking of, but there is one that does something like that. And then there's the Psychic move that copies your opponent's stats as well. Because I'm petty. No one can survive the wrath of Grandpa. So it happens when you try to play all fancy. God, that looks like me when I get up in the morning. There's Tyranitar. How you doing, buddy? I'm too lazy to go find the file for Darude, sorry. That will have to suffice. Missed. Slowking kind of low-key screwed himself over. Because now every other turn he can't do anything. Which is actually really funny. Of course, the game's forgotten one thing. I'm insane. Also, in case I do lose, I don't want to have to deal with this Tyranitar a second time around. And I am not above being cheap. Normally I don't use them in playthroughs, but we're just streaming, so it's fine. The Darude rages, as does the machine, and we rage against it. You can already tell where this is going. Because let's be honest, it's a little fun to watch the title battle just turn of being like, oh, it's a 2v1 and now it's a 1v2 and he is absolutely screwed. Sure, take out Fortress. It ain't gonna matter anymore anyway, because you're not gonna be able to do anything next turn. Even by the time you can, you probably won't be able to do enough damage. I mean, if I wanted to be a jerk, I could just sit here and let the Sandstorm kill you. Luckily for you, I'm a merciful tyrant. How do you feel about getting destroyed by an Ampharos with one of the worst possible natures it could have gotten? Oh, hey, the cop's far too late, unsurprisingly. And Mustache Man, and you apparently changed out of your outfit. You were a lot taller while wearing that. Maybe it was just me. Oh, please, we watched that thing get thwarted by that Hitmontop from earlier. There's no way it could have beaten a Tyranitar. On type alone, there's no way it could have beaten that Tyranitar. He's trying to escape that helicopter. He's already surrounded, dude. We just, like, literally put him in handcuffs. How's he gonna get in the helicopter otherwise? Also, by the way, screw that helicopter. It's a ho-ho, as my friend used to call it. Once again, it had to make up for the fact that Lugia is going to be turned into a Shadow Pokemon in the following game. Even though I do like Lugia more than Ho-Oh. Hello, friend. We've done it. We've beaten the main game. Mostly by cheating and using items, but he used a full restore first. So it's fine. Yeah, also true. Also, for clarification's sake, favorite legendary, if we're going on looks alone, Mewtwo and then Articuno after that. Easily. Rayquaza's pretty high up there too, though. I'd probably put Rayquaza at number 3. Look at all of these Pokemon that we've caught. Making you feel bad if you didn't... Well, we didn't catch that one. That one wasn't possible, tragically. I'm very sure that if a Trico had appeared, I would have caught it. Even though this is before Trico got better, I'm still a fan. I like having a fast grass type, what can I say? Though I would have been okay with the Blaziken, too. Heck, even the Swampert. Like, I like Quagsire, but Swampert would be an even better pick, honestly. With the same type, so... But again, Colosseum options are limited, and Quagsire is actually a pretty good pick. Unless you wanted... What would be other options? Quillfish, Remoraid, Croconaw. That's probably about it, really. There might be one or two others in there, but probably not that many, because there's not that many to go around total. And they're not just going to be like 50% water types. So yeah, we'll probably still do the post-game, show that off, show off all the other things. I'm going to double check and make absolutely sure, again, not that it will matter, that I can pick up those Shadow Pokemon. Presuming that this forum is correct on Cerebi.net, Miltank, Absol, Houndoom, Tropius, Metagross, Tyranitar, or in our case, Miltank, Absol, Metagross, and Tyranitar. These Pokemon are always available for a second try. Remember, this is a Pokemon game. When the credits finish rolling, your extraordinary deeds are undone. The world's back to the previous days it was in. Before challenging the final boss, you can go back up to the top of Rogum Tower and fight the final 6 trainers as often as you please. So maybe they don't end... Okay, maybe they stay there. I was going to say they end up in the Under, because that's where a lot of the Pokemon end up if you don't catch them as in the Under Colosseum, if you can't refight the trainer themselves. But if they stay there, that also works. As long as I can get them at some point, then fine, sure, absolutely. Oh yeah, wasn't he supposed to be sending me these, like, I thought he did those while the main game was still going on, but I guess not. No, and more information about Shadow Pokemon should arrive directly to the people connected to the network. Yeah, about that, we've already caught, like, most of them, no thanks to you, or whatever. Yeah, Miltank, Absol, and then, again, can't get these yet, Metagross, so yeah. Or sorry, I guess it was 3 out of 6 that we got, not 2 out of 6. So, Miltank, Absol, and Metagross. And since we're here, I'm going to get Rui out of the way here. Because, let's be real, we're probably going to need them. What's now? Dude. The network got word that there's a suspicious-looking Pokemon that was spotted in Pyrite. Alright. See, now I'm torn. Do I want to go back up there and fight them again, or do I want to go over there to talk to Seg? Also, I'm going to assume that's my phone telling me that I missed a call, and it's like, yeah, sure enough. Like, yeah, I hung up on it because I didn't recognize the number. Of course I missed that call. Yeah. I'd just rather go ahead and do it now, because I feel like between these two things, I am more likely to forget this. So as a result, the smartest thing to do would be go and do this. And thankfully we only have to catch 3. So if we can get the first 2, we can blast through the next 2 trainers, and then blast through Evis at the end. I will say one thing about that, the credit sequence wasn't very long, actually. I expected it to be about twice that length, and it wasn't that long, so I'm okay with that. There we go. Hi Silva, I see you've changed once more. Yeah, he does look taller in that sprite. Probably because it's a pre-made sprite and they just wanted to slightly alter the dudes that are out front. But point still stands. Also, if they do another Shadow Pokemon style game, make the protagonist less like Michael, more like Wes, please, and thanks. Yeah, we'll keep it like this. Camera angles. Ah yes, my adoring fans once more. I just look kind of like half mad but mostly bored, if anything, like, oh, not this again. Okay, yeah, so you can just, like, refight these. You'd have to fight them all in a row, so if you missed, like, just the Tyranitar, you'd have to go through the other 5 fights, but that's still probably faster than going through the Under, because for the Pokemon that get put down there, you go through it like a normal Colosseum. Hi, Zangoose. You go through it like you would a normal Colosseum, and you only find 1 Shadow Pokemon per run-through, and it's not till Battle 4. So, like, we'd be doing 12 or 9, yeah, no, I had it right the first time. We'd be doing 12 battles to get the 3 Pokemon, as opposed to only doing 6 here. So this is still faster. There'll be more Pokemon on the teams, at least for the later ones, because usually I think with the Under Coliseum it's like 4 or 5, as opposed to where we know they would have 6. They may not, just because I took Tyranitar off of Evis, but these first ones only have 3, so definitely not as bad as it was. Oh, it's a Shadow Pokemon? Well, geez, I'm glad you're here to tell me these things, Rui. What are you gonna do, Porygon? Ice Beam. I'm assuming that's on Anti-Flames? I'll say probably not on Typhlosion. And just get rid of that. Ah, the joys of hearing an ambulance just after a rainstorm and you know that somebody crashed their car because they didn't know how to drive on, well, not on water, but while it was raining. Because as any person in this town will tell you, the key to, whenever you, like, have any sort of hydroplaning on water, the key is to slam on the brakes and jerk the steering wheel violently. That's exactly what you're supposed to do and nothing else, instead of, I don't know, maybe don't panic. So you want to get driving tips, just go watch Hot Wheels Accelerators. It actually gives genuinely really good driving advice for stuff like that. And it's all free on YouTube too, which is nice. Really, the only part I don't like about driving is having to pay for the gas. Other than that, it's fun. gonna give it a shot, but in case it doesn't work. Excuse me, I'm not trying to go over there. This is more for using them up, because, like, at this point, I'm not gonna use it on anything else. Could sell them technically, sure, but eh. Or we could just catch it, that works too. I was gonna throw out Espeon to use Swift, because it just used Defense Curl, and Espeon doesn't have a high attack stat, so try to do a little bit more damage and knock it into red without killing it. But if you want to just catch it too, that also works. I'm not gonna complain. Watch all three of these snacks just go completely seamlessly after this. Maybe it is. It's hard to tell if it's raining out there or if that's just like water draining. I can't tell. After I get through this battle, if that noise is still persisting once it has this animation of everybody getting dragged out, maybe I'll check. Shadow Pokemon, yep, sure is. Oh no, not Intimidate, because I was absolutely going to be using physical attacks with Typhlosion and Ampharos. I don't think so. Flamethrower in the head. Send out your pedophile shark, if you please. Nah. Flamewell's got higher power than Thundershock does, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like 60 instead of 40 or something like that. I know it's more. And they both have stab, so the overall ratio is not going to change. Dude, please do not accidentally kill that Absol. I would not appreciate it at all. The Dance of the Sword. Throw a little smoke ball at it. Good. You know what? Just because I feel like it's going to try to Shadow Rush and it's going to take their recoil and kill itself if it connects. If this fails, hopefully it won't, because it would have been hit by a smokescreen twice and potentially a third time by that point. But don't feel like chancing it on this one. What else does this thing have besides Shadow Rush, out of curiosity? There's the butt wiggle. I told you it makes sense in context. Well, if you had to pick one to get rid of, I'm glad it was Ampharos and not Typhlosion, since I could use Smokescreen again. I wasn't paying attention to what gender it was, so we'll try to infatuate it. It is male. Nice. Attract. And let's try this one more time. And hopefully between being able to get hit by Smokescreen thrice, paralyzed, and also infatuated, it will not kill itself with Shadow Rush, which means it will absolutely kill itself with Shadow Rush. Why would it do anything else? Yay, we didn't give it a chance. Now we can just absolutely blitzkrieg the next two characters. Because what would have been the percentage on that? If it had been infatuated, paralyzed, and hit with smokescreen 3 times, what are the chances that it would have hit with that Shadow Rush and killed itself in recoil? It would have been pretty low, but not impossible. No, not for... I don't know if it affects catch rate. I'm referring to whether it's, like, if it had used Shadow Rush, if that attack had actually gone through all the stuff. Like, if it had gone through paralysis, through infatuation, and through missing due to the smoke screens. Probably doesn't matter, because Surf's gonna kill them both. I mean, yeah, knowing the AI, 100%, I know. Because the AI cheats. Also, bye, Torkoal, you will be missed. And that cargo is absolutely gone since it's quad weak. I said I was going to check that noise and see if it sounded like it was draining or still raining outside, but it stopped, so I don't know. Interesting choice, but okay. I would have attacked the one that wasn't underground if I was going to use quick attack, knowing that I would have gone first. And that leaves, I think this was the guy that used all the water types? Because it was mostly normal, mostly... I already forgot what the other ones were. Mostly dark, I guess, because he had Mightyena and Sharpedo and Absol, so mostly dark. Or all dark in his case. So normal, dark, fire, and water. This is our crappy version of the Elite Four, I guess. Which makes Nazgûr and Evis the co-joined champion, I suppose. Oh no, it is grass. Never mind. I must have been thinking of somebody else. Yes. They're both equally threats in my eyes. I know what Sceptile is capable of, but Vileplume's probably still more dangerous. Yeah, that's fair. I would have done that too. Surprised it didn't kill. I honestly, it probably should have gotten me there. Even though he's lower level, that probably should have gotten me. In the hopes that it outspeeds Credillion and potentially screws it over later. I'll say, because I know that if I don't kill Sceptile immediately with Flamethrower, it will absolutely be going second. Because between it and Typhlosion, they are both far faster than those other two. The downside with using Yawn is it makes me want to yawn, and I shouldn't want to yawn. Cacturd and... Espeon, I guess. I don't know. Now that he just threw out Cacturn, I'm probably just going to use the turn to heal Typhlosion, honestly, and just Flamethrower Cacturn. And 19 of these things, I might as well use them, right? Get your little pointy hat out of here. I thought he had one more. I guess he's just down to Credilli. I knew that we already taken a Shadow Pokemon, but still, I thought he had one more. I guess Sceptile replaced it, though, because Sceptile wasn't in the last fight. Well, Credilli, it was nice knowing you, but I think it's safe to say you are screwed. Playing Mario Party 2. No, but we should do another Mario Party night sometime soon. I've just been doing this recently. Maybe if I can find a night where I have enough energy, since this is my last night off until the 30th. Wish I was making that up, but I'm not. And yes, I'm fully aware it's the 12th right now. Freaking rich by the end. Between this pay period, the next pay period, and getting the refund on the taxes, I'm going to be rolling in it. I'm gonna be making like a fourth of what I do in a year in a month. Yay, they fully healed me. I mean, I get another chance at the Shadow Pokemon. Oh, what to do here? He's probably gonna Earthquake, though. Nope, he actually didn't. Yeah. Makes sense. Since it's not going to be using its attack stat, might as well raise its attack, try to hurt itself in the confusion more. Oh, we were just going to spam confuse. Oh, okay, I see how it is. Awesome. Alright, well now I'm definitely not going to feel bad about trying to do this again. Yeah, that should be enough. Surprise! I predict that you are a gullible idiot. Yeah, I know it's risky, but, like, it was also prepped for the first 2 fights, not the remaining 4. Because there's unfortunately no switching between now and then. And Earthquake was less the issue, more just getting confused left, right, and center here. I'm going to use Thunderbolt on Walrein, and because I'm a jerk, I'm going to make sure it connects. And then he'll get to go first and just use Confuse Ray again anyway. Nope. Cool, we actually got priority. Thanks to Quick Claw. Of course, they're just going to confuse me again. Shadow Ball. Bleh. I thought that would have done a little bit more damage, but I guess not. Oh well, goodbye Walrein, we hardly knew ye, and... Sure, why not? Mostly just because it's not gonna be a help right now between Confused and Falling in Love and everything else. Another Shadow Ball. Bleh. Sure. I just want to focus on getting the Xatu out above all else, so... I don't expect this to do an insanely... Yeah, I wasn't expecting a miracle or anything, but... I didn't want to use Hydro Pump, so... Unfortunately, it was more just a sacrifice to get the infatuation and confusion off of Typhlosion more than anything. Sus that NASCAR doesn't have a full OT. I mean, yeah, a little. Oh, good. I just put him back on the field, and I see you're already like, nope, we gotta confuse him. Just go ahead and confuse him. Straight at the gate. I'm trying to set him on fire anyway, just because being a pain in the butt now. No more of that confusory nonsense. Nobody appreciates that. Up to and including Typhlosion. Alright, let's try this again. After we're done killing Gardevoir, anyway. They really just, like, want to inflict Typhlosion with every single status they can. Like, they confused him and made him fall in love, so they took him off the field and put him back on. He was back to normal, and then they confused him again, and then taunted him so that he couldn't use the same move twice in a row. Like, I was going to call him back anyway. Like, I was already convinced, but if I had been convinced before, like, that would have convinced me right there. I'd be like, nope, take him back out. I guess they're afraid that I'm just going to flamethrower a Metagross and just absolutely annihilate it, which, to be fair, if I wasn't trying to catch it, that's absolutely what I would do. But in this situation right now, not so much. Going back and forth in my head here, but we'll go with this. Oh wow, actually survived that. Barely, though. Physic. This feels familiar. Oh right, you did this like 30 times the last time I tried to fight you. I'd love to use Earthquake Protect, but I feel like it'd kill that Metagross, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I prepared for that. Well, I still don't feel bad about killing it, so... It was worth it to get it off the field, because now it's just down to Metagross. And if I really need to bring Quagsire back, then I can just bring Quagsire back. It'll be fine. I feel like Wild is going to be much too strong and will absolutely kill him if he uses Flamethrower or Flame Wheel, and probably Dig as well. So at this point, I'm just going to do damage where I can. If I lose somebody, I will send him in and just start spamming Smokescreen. And we'll see what happens from there. Again, that won't work, that won't work, so Protect it is. Yeah, Gardevoir is also, like, very much made out of glass when it comes to hitting it with a physical attack. It'll just die. It's not quite as bad as Alakazam, from what I remember. Or at least from what it's ever felt like when fighting those two, but yeah, it's still not gonna be winning any races and physical defense. Blech. Depending on how much Hyper Beam does, I might just switch him out now. I don't expect it to do a lot because it's not going to be. It's going to be resistant to it because it's normal. But I was gonna say, I wasn't expecting a ton here. Cool, I'm okay with that. Oops, not items. Because again, I'm not trying to do crazy damage here. I'm still worried about it killing itself with Shadow Rush. If it can get through its paralysis. So I want to absolutely start throwing Smokescreen until it will not let me throw it anymore. And if it gets into red due to Swift or Shadow Rush, I'm going to stop using Swift and just start trying to throw. Oh, that's right. It's got Clear Body. I can't even do that. Forgot about that. In that case... I doubt this is going to work, but might as well try. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'll probably knock it into red. No, not quite. Well, since I can't lower its stats with Smokescreen, I'm probably just going to leave it there, honestly. I don't think there's anything, and not really. Ow. So much pain. His reflector off. Alright, well, let's just throw it back up then. Not doing anything else here. Oh, right, I wasn't holding down and hitting B. How foolish of me. Of course, I forgot that secret way to make sure they'll catch. I actually had some friends in middle school and high school that believed that worked, of like, if you hold down, and then tap B as the ball shakes, it increases the catch. Just like all those weird ones that don't actually do anything, obviously, but it's still funny. Hey, remember all that work he did, like almost killing my Espeon? Oops. It was an accident, I swear. I'll never do it again. He lied. Well, for one of my old friends that I've not seen in years, let's go ahead and give it a try. Hey, it worked! I was really hoping it was going to. Oh, that made my night right there. I actually did too, because we would always do it like right when they actually get caught in the ball, so I did it whenever the little hand came out, and then each time it bounces on the ground, you hit it once, and then each time it shakes, you hit it once, and it worked on the first try. That's so stupid. I love that that was coincidental, but that did not make it any less funny. That was still absolutely hilarious. Nazcor looks so upset. He's just like pouting in the corner. Can't believe I fucking lost my Metagross. Well, if it makes you feel any better, you lost your Metagross after your boss lost his Tyranitar. Granted, that was due to a Master Ball, but the point still stands. Oh, hey, look, it's that thing that I like to set on fire. That didn't narrow it down, did it? I like setting both of those on fire. Yeah, he did replace his Tyranitar with something. Don't know what, but he did replace it. The attack of Scizor rose. Not that it's going to matter, because it's about to get utterly incinerated. I hope it was worth wasting a turn. Like, granted, it wouldn't have gone before Typhlosion, but you might as well have just dumped it, both the X attacks into slacking, if you're really going to. Yeah, so if I lose a Pokemon now, I'll send out Fortress and then infatuate him and just, like, completely... I'm about to ruin this man's whole career, basically, is what I'm saying. So now I'm just gonna fight like heck until I eventually, inevitably lose one or both of these guys to Earthquake. But until that happens, I'm just gonna knock them out one by one by one. After all, the best defense is a good offense. Hello, Salamence. I wish I could catch you. Slacking is helping. By which I mean he's not helping at all. Yeah, I know Flamethrower is not going to do as much because it's not very effective, but I didn't want to wait a turn for Dig and, you know, semantics, all that. Ah, yeah, there comes the Earthquake. Out of curiosity. Hey, stop. What else does that Salamence have? Oh wait, this is the wrong page. I forgot I went to the future one. To be like, can I actually get those back? There was something I was gonna do. Oh right, make him fall in love. And try to outspeed it, I guess. Dragon Dance, Double Edge, Aerial Ace, Dragon Claw. That's not a horrible moveset for Salamence. I've seen worse, that's for sure. Alright, so we'll end that man's whole career, and yeah, that's probably the end of... Yep. Oh, hey, it got Salamence, though, I think. Yeah, it did, okay. That was the whole point of sending Espeon out, so at least that, that justice was served in its own way. Also, enjoy your experience, Reinhardt. Might as well, right? Earthquake Protect. See, the thing is, even if he swaps skills to give Slacking the not loafing around thing, he's still going to be at least partially messed up by being paralyzed and falling in love. Protect. Earthquake. Have fun, boys. See, if anything, that might have actually made it worse for him, because now he's got one that's going to be loafing around and one that's infatuated and paralyzed. Like, every bad thing was thrown onto Slag King, now they're split, and so, like, it has the potential to be worse rather than better. Nah, let's go for it. I don't care. Let's go for it. Oh, of course it missed. I mean, there's no guarantee that Protect would have worked, so I figured might as well try. And if it had gone through, I would have gotten him, but unfortunately it did not go through, so I did not get him. At this point, might as well go after Slacking, because we know Earthquake's going to kill Slowking. So if you could actually connect with your shot this time, please. Thank you. We're getting the double kill. Looks like it. Almost a triple. A well-earned level from that double kill. Aggro. Oh, that's your new one. Okay. Rock and steel? Ground and steel? Stealing something. Trying to figure out what that noise is that's going on outside. Oh well. I know I don't need to protect while using Surf. This is more just so he does not kill Reinhardt. Protect. As it turns out, that was a wise decision. Before, might as well just go for it at this point. I already know it can outspeed Aggron, so. Not a horrible choice for a replacement, though. Like, if you're going to replace Tyranitar, Aggron's not a horrible option. Now give me your money. I mean, stop all those bad things you were doing. Okay, well, that actually turned out a little bit better than I thought. I thought that was going to take 3 attempts. I honestly thought we were going to get, like, just 2 out of the 3 of them. And miss 1 due to, like, an unfortunate crit or recoil damage or something. But the fact that it only took 2 is pretty good. I'm okay with that. Again, guys, just arrest him. Like, he's trying to escape in the helicopter. Well, yeah, he has to physically get into the helicopter. If he can't do that, then having the helicopter's not be much use, is it? But at least we get to see Ho-Oh, so that's nice. Yeah, that's also fair. It's not exactly easy to find a good replacement for Tyranitar. Also, I think that might be the only time you ever see Wes looking up like that. He doesn't ever do that normally. That'd be fair most of them, though. Oh god, Egan, you just broke your neck, dude. That's not a good thing for an old man to do. Or, I mean, anybody, really, but in particular, an old man, I guess. I don't know. It's not good for anybody. Alright, Sparklebutt, get out of here. There we go. I don't suppose the game would be nice enough to let me skip these, because I already watched it. No, I didn't think so. Well, it was worth a try. So yeah, two attempts on getting all 6 of them. I'm okay with that. I definitely could have taken more. I think the first time I did it, it took like... I think it took 4 attempts the first time I did it, I'm pretty sure. Namely because of that Metagross, but that doesn't surprise anybody. Yeah, good progress. I'm actually very okay with that. I know it doesn't seem like a lot because you're like, well, you did like a good bulk of Railgun Tower last time and all you did was just more of it. But like, bear in mind that last part is catching 6 Shadow Pokemon, like just that part, and then also the Skarmory from what's-his-face, so that's 7. And we caught 7 last time, so Shadow Pokemon-wise, same progress as last time. I don't know how long post-game is going to take. I think it will probably be more than 1 session, but I think that might only be because I'll probably have to grind for levels to do, like, the final section of Mount Battle, that kind of thing. Like the under Colosseums, maybe. I don't remember what levels they're around. I'm going to guess around 60 would be an estimate, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't have it in front of me. So it'll probably be a case of, like, I'll kind of get a lay of the land, see exactly where everything is level-wise for next time, and then either grind or leave it as it is. And then either grind a second time between them, or grind for the first time. I don't think I'm going to need to grind any levels immediately, but we'll find out. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, since I did get everything in the main story, Shadow Pokemon-wise, even though I had to go back and get those, that means I will go ahead and capture and purify all the shadows. Again, like with every other time, I'll do all of the heart gauge lowering without actually purifying. I'll do all that off screen, so we don't have to sit here and watch me chug through low levels of Mount Battle, waiting for the hyper mode to kick in and just absolutely annihilating everything that's like level 20 with stuff that's twice its level or higher. So we won't have to worry about that. Doing singles amount now. I might. I don't know. It's more like that would be boring to watch rather than anything else, but we'll see. Let's have a look here. Got a little bit more money. I feel like we're good on items for the time being, so we'll just keep the money. And I do know that it did just save, however, I am not known for trusting the system to save my game for me. Ever since the one time that I am positive I saved and the game did not save my progress. Which was not on this system nor on this game, but the point still stands. Plus now we get to get a look at the amount here. 42. And our playtime is 52:52. Nice. Let me double check here. I'm checking to see how many Shadow Pokemon there are. I believe there's 48. It might be 50. I honestly don't remember. Let's count them out, shall we? 1, 2, let's see. Can I just highlight these? It'd be a little bit easier. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mischievous is 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 with Hitmontop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with 30 with Fortress. 2, 4, 6, 8. I lost my spot there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 40 with Absol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 48. So we're missing 6. All of them that are only obtainable in post-game. 4 that are definitely only in post-game. And then Bayleaf and Crocodile, which are technically available before post-game. However, in this case, they are post-game because I went for Quillava. So yeah, I will just, like, I'm not going to cheat and check movesets or anything, but just, like, get a general idea of the levels and be like, am I over-leveled, am I under-leveled, whatever, and go from there. We shall see how it goes on that front. But for the time being, even though it is Friday, it is still 11 o'clock. And I should make sure that I let you guys at least get some semblance of sleep. So I'll figure out kind of that area and figure out how much I need to do or not do. I'm definitely going to be doing the heart gauge lowering off screen, so I'll at least have that to do, if nothing else. But for the time being, let's go find a raid target. So I'll do my best to get that done pretty quickly. Other than that, at some point I am actually going to plan on finishing Super Paper Mario. I've just not gotten around. I haven't been feeling like playing it, but I do want to actually get it done. Just to say, like, hey, I did it. I actually am going to stream this because I actually like this game, and I know most people do not like it. Raid Zelda Universe TV, they are streaming Metroid Other M, a game hated by everybody that is not me. I actually think it's a not terrible game, surprisingly. I think it's actually pretty solid. So go give them some love, eat some mac and cheese. That actually sounds pretty good. I need to eat dinner as well. Thank you for watching. As usual, just check Discord for updates and whatnot. It is actually a pretty interesting game. It is mostly 2D, but I actually think it's pretty cool. There's some first-person aspects. A lot of people don't like Samus and how she's more human, but like she is a human, so I don't know. There's some bad points about it. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I'd give it like a solid 5 out of 10. Like, it's probably worth renting and playing, or getting from a friend and playing and then not touching again. But it's not horrible, and I'll probably stream it at some point down the line. But until then, take care, and I will see you guys when I see you. Yeah, they're pretty far in.